Wes.
He's Clay, and we've got Coach Ryan Brown at our first ever live stream. All right. The West Coast Conference Media Day. Coach Brown, thank you for being here, man. This is amazing. We're so excited to be doing this.
Thrilled.
Glad to be here. Appreciate you guys doing this and having this in general. So it's great for our conference and great for the sport.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that. We appreciate the support. I'm excited to see you, meet you in person here this week. The conference tournament will be hosted at Air Force. So you have the distinct advantage of altitude, home cooking, home crowd, band. Talk to us about what you guys are setting up for this weekend.
Yeah, the hopes to have a large crowd out there. It is the middle of school, though, so it's going to be a little difficult from a cadet standpoint to get kids out of school. But we're hoping to maybe extend noon meal lunch or get kids out of noon meal so they can come down to the natatorium, watch some games, but then they will have to go back to class, unfortunately. The plan is to have a great, wonderful event, have it all set up and ready to go, and obviously host the best conference in the nation out at our place.
I love it. And the Air Force, the last time Air Force won this was 2012, last time you won your conference. It wasn't the WCC then, but it didn't matter. It got you a berth to the NC2As. And the last time it was held at Air Force. Talk to us about what that means to you as a coach, to have the opportunity here to host the West Coast Conference Championship. You know, anything special you guys, you're looking forward to, or just what it means to you for the conference itself?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic for us to host high-level tournaments, high-level events. We have a great facility. Our staff and everybody is top-notch and ready to do everything to put on a great event for everybody. So I think that part is fantastic. Hosting is always wonderful. It's a lot of work, but it's always nice to be at home rather than on the road. So I think that's wonderful. And I think the big thing for me this year, just looking at our schedule, never have we ever been at home all of November. So, we had 2 home games this weekend off, and then we get a host. So being at home for almost an entire month for our guys is huge. Just like we were talking earlier, like we don't get any drive down the street and play any games.
Yeah.
Everything's a plane flight, long trip. So it's nice to be able to be at home at the end of your season and not have to go very far and get on the road and travel and get your bodies beat up. So hopefully that'll be nice and play in our favor.
Yeah, and everybody else has to travel and get their bodies beat up and be deprived of oxygen. I'm personally worried about broadcasting at altitude because I have so much to say. I don't know if I've got the lungs to do it, but God willing, and the creek don't.
You're running
ride.
out of air as it is, Wes.
Yeah.
So with elevation, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. So the West Coast Conference, the start of our first ever live broadcast and Media Day press conference. We're going to have a couple players joining us in a moment here from Air Force. Tom Leggett and Colin Chase. Talk to us a little bit about these players and the team in general before they hop on and we drill down with some questions.
Yeah, both these guys are team captains. Colin's a senior, Tom's a junior. They've really been helping change the culture to what I've been trying to get it to, and slowly we've been getting there over the years. Yeah. And these two have really stepped in and kind of helped change the culture of what we want of a championship mindset day in and day out. So they're really helping with that, not only by talking, but also by doing. It's always great when your best player is your hardest worker, and Tom, and then Colin's just been, he went to our prep school, then he came to the academy. Now he's in his 4th year, really stepped up as far as not only his play, but his leadership and just really taking control of the team. So that part's been wonderful. So these guys are really true leaders. That's why they come to this school, and they're going to go off after they graduate and do some wonderful things too and lead people in our nation as well. So not only you're getting great leadership here at the academy, but they're going to go on and do the same thing.
Yeah, and Coach Brown, we really admire the service academies from both Clayton and myself. We both have grandparents who served. It's something it means a lot to us. Frankly, I get a little teared up, a little bit of goosebumps because it's something that so few men choose to do these days. And we really thank you for the service that these boys go through. I know you're not necessarily in the Air Force yourself as a coach, but talk to us about how it's a little bit different for these kids coming out of high school, going to an academy like this, and playing water polo. I mean, is it easier for them to play water polo than it is to go to school?
This place is difficult.
Yeah.
It's extremely difficult. The sacrifices these guys make over these 4 years is next to none of anything else that other college athletes are doing. Obviously, they're going to go serve our nation afterwards. So it takes a special kid to get here and a special mindset to get them here. But yeah, water polo is a release for them at the academy. They go through so much other stuff. Their day is compacted with school, military stuff, and then water polo.
Yeah.
And then they still got to go back and do study and get some rest somewhere in there. So yeah, their daily grind is immense. And it really, really tests to their character to be able to do that day in and day out. So it is a wonderful thing for these guys, and it is special. And it's tough to coach here. It's tough to play here. But anytime you have success, it's just that much more wonderful.
Yeah, I love that. And, a unique opportunity for these young men to grow, to play water polo while at a service academy, because they have so many other demands on their time as well as their future. Anything else you'd like to add, Coach Brown? We're going to bring Colin Chase in here in just a moment. But anything you'd like to add just as we go through this? It's an exciting time and you're hosting. I'm just so excited to be there. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, just like I said, hosting and being at home is great and wonderful. Like I said, a lot of work, but it's well worth it in the end. Just like anything else that is demanding and rigorous, the harder it is, then the more rewarding it is in the end. So similar to these guys in school, just like hosting, it's going to be rewarding in the end, and hopefully we can have a great performance and upset some teams along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got both Tom and Colin waiting, so we're going to go ahead and let them in. Clay will take over on a couple of questions here. I'll introduce him in just a moment. All right. So Tom Leggett, here we go. Is he in? Are you in an airplane, Tom? What is happening?
Leggett's in a cockpit right now.
It's 10,000 feet up. Tom Leggett. Colin Chase. Thank you guys for joining us here. We are live streaming this, Tom, so everybody in the world now knows you're driving back, taking this from your car. Colin, thank you for being here. I'm Wesley Kading, Clayton Snyder here, your hosts. Guys, we're so excited for you. You're hosting the West Coast Conference Championship this weekend. Man alive, what a cool experience. Colin, why don't we start with you? We had Tom on the show last week, which we're very appreciative of. But Colin, talk to us first about what this means to you, hosting the conference, and what you're looking forward to.
It's an honor. First of all, thanks for having me on the podcast. But second of all, it's an honor to be able to play at home. The altitude plays a big role, and I know teams aren't really excited to be up here with us. So I think we use that to our advantage, and it's nice to be home, have all the fans come out and watch us.
Amazing. And Tom, you've been on the podcast a time or two now. Obviously, it's a big deal to be hosting this tournament. What are you looking forward to most?
Just definitely the environment. I think it'd be so cool to have everybody at our pool and, crazy home field advantage. So just really excited to be, playing with all the guys where we practice.
Yeah, amazing. It's a unique opportunity for sure to be able to do that. And I think that being at home, sleeping in your home bed, having the band there, hopefully you're going to have the opportunity to have a little more support. And it's not been at Air Force since 2012, which was the last time Air Force won the conference. It wasn't the West Coast Conference back then. Doesn't matter. Still got you a berth to the NC2As. Talk to us about kind of what you've been practicing this week to get yourselves mentally ready for this event coming into town. First game Friday. Just pumped.
I mean, I think the biggest thing for us is just putting all the pieces together and getting the chemistry as good as we possibly can, and just feeling it out and getting those reps together, and just getting really, really comfortable in practice and really, really comfortable in what we're preparing to do. And I think we're doing so pretty well right now. Lots of energy and lots of focus this week.
Amazing. Colin, what about you?
This week, we mostly been practicing, putting a lot of more effort into each possession. We were looking at film that noticed that's kind of where we were falling behind. So putting more effort in every possession, really trying to tire out teams, because that's going to be our advantage. So that's what we've been working on.
I love it.
Got a question for you guys. So Coach Ryan Brown here mentioned a moment ago. Coach, I believe you're in your 8th season at Air Force. Is that correct? You touched briefly, or what is it?
No, go ahead.
Was that a yes? Okay, great. You mentioned that you've been working on shifting the culture a little bit, and you're starting to see fruits from your labor. Can you share a little bit about maybe what the culture was when you got there and where it is today, and maybe how Colin and Tom have played a part in that shift?
Yeah. I've been here a total of 15 years. First 7 were as an assistant coach. And we had a great culture. And then kind of when I took it over, I wanted to change some things here and there. And I wouldn't say we had any bad apples by any means. But we had a few people that weren't necessarily on board with the change or the new things, or kind of having more of a championship mentality. Working every day towards a championship. And so I think we've gotten a little closer each couple of years. But now I think that these two have really stepped it up and said, hey, this is what we're going to do day in, day out, be committed to being a champion, not just, hey, we're okay. Just, come down here, going through the motions, trying hard every now and then. These two have really kind of stepped up in the locker room and led these guys into every day we're going to go hard and prepare like a champion.
Yeah. So really just going from it being like a recreational, club that you could be a part of at Air Force to like, no, we are here with a purpose and with meaning and with an end goal in mind. Tom, I believe Chase is 1 year your senior, if I'm not mistaken, at Air Force. How has Chase impacted you as a leader as you stepped into this program?
In a lot of ways, but I think mainly he's very like emotionally stable and never lets his head be like a part of his decision making, and so I have to learn from him sometimes.
I was going to say, so you've been taking note. Okay, good.
yeah, because sometimes you get a little heated or too excited at practice, and it's so good to have that overarching voice, keeping tabs on everybody and being stable and being so mature in the process. So I'm definitely trying to learn, I guess, take his maturity part and use it every day.
Wonderful. And Chase, you're in your senior year here. Is this your last year of eligibility?
Yeah, it's my last year.
How have you seen the program shift over your 4-year tenure here at Air Force?
I would say from freshman year to now, I'd say it's taken more seriously every year. Just people wanting to be at practice and wanting to be at the games. It's improved every year. And hopefully when I'm gone, it keeps going that way, because, we can be really good, and we are really good when we put everything together, but just that effort piece, it keeps getting better and better each year.
What are the two of you doing to make sure you're drawing a crowd here? And it might be entirely out of your control based on programming that you guys have going on, but I'm curious if there's any grassroots efforts to really make sure the crowds are banging there.
Yeah, we're definitely connecting with everyone we possibly can to get as many people at the game. Some stuff's out of our control as far as daily schedule and stuff like that, and obligations, like places people places like people have to be. But yeah, we're definitely working with the correct people to try and jump through every loophole we possibly can to get as many bodies in that place as possible.
Yeah, I was actually at the Academy, Tom, just a couple of weeks ago on a trip with the 8th Air Force Historical Society and the 306 Bomb Group Historical Association, a little field trip reunion there. And I saw it firsthand, just how regimented your guys' days are. So kudos again to your whole program for being able to fit. It's hard enough just at any of these other schools to play a sport on top of academics, but what you guys are doing is on an entirely different level. So thank you guys again for your service and your dedication to that.
Yeah, a couple more questions from me. Your first round matchup will be against San Jose State. Now, you played them and you're in a game here just a couple weeks back, and it was at Air Force, a game you guys dropped, but I think you felt like you could have played quite a bit better. What's the approach coming into this game, an opportunity for you here. The conference tournament is what decides your NC2A berth, because the regular season really doesn't matter quite as much in the West Coast Conference as it does maybe in the Mountain Pacific. So this is your opportunity. What did you guys learn from that game, and what are you bringing into this in that first round matchup versus San Jose State? Colin, why don't you go?
I mean,
as the leader.
Yeah,
I want to hear
okay,
from
go.
Colin. Sorry. And I'll ask Coach Brown, too. He's been real quiet here. We're going to get him going a little bit more.
I learned that we didn't move enough. We watched film this week, and that was a big emphasis item, that we didn't move enough, and our counterattacks were really slow. So and it's an effort thing. So we just need to put more effort on the counterattack, take the initial 2 strokes before they do. And I think that'll be a big game changer.
All right. Coach Brown, what about you? What's some tactics you want to bring into this game, hope for a different outcome versus San Jose State? They're a good defensive team with, frankly, the best goalie in the country. That hasn't slowed you guys down much sometimes. Leggett here can really put it away. What changes, what adjustments do you guys have to make to overcome what San Jose State's bringing to Air Force Academy here?
Yeah, I think that, one, we got to make sure that every possession counts. We all know that every team in our conference is so good that you can't take any possessions off, and every shot counts, every defensive possession counts. So every opportunity counts. So you can't take it easy on any possessions. San Jose's extremely talented in all positions. They can put up numbers. They play well defensively. So it's going to come down to the little things and the little details. And we've been trying to emphasize those. Not that we hadn't all season, but, really try to dial it in here this last week and really just nail down the details and make sure everybody's on the same page. We got to execute it all facets of the game, right? We got to limit the counterattack. We got to put away our 6-on-5 opportunities. We're going to get plenty of those. So it's just really a matter of execution, both offensively and defensively.
All right, Tom, your turn. What did you take away from that San Jose State game? What has to change for you guys taking this team on again for the second time in a month?
It's like Colin said, that sense of urgency is really important. And I think that's the biggest thing. There is nothing to save yourself for anymore. So just really getting after every possession and going as hard as you possibly can, and not ever taking a second to rest, giving everything you have for every aspect of the game. And I think if we do that, we'll be pretty successful.
Yeah. And Colin, this will be your last West Coast Conference tournament as a senior. Talk to me about what's the best memory you've had, not to reflect too much. Your season may not be over after this weekend, but it will be your last West Coast Conference tournament. Talk to me about reflect a little for me. What's been the best memory for you in the last 4 years?
I'm gonna have to go back to my freshman year probably, but that was beating Navy and I think triple overtime. I can't remember double or triple, but that as a freshman, I got to play that game, and just beating Navy at home with a huge crowd was pretty awesome. So I know that was a while ago, but that was probably my best memory.
So it's interesting you bring that up, because I was going to ask Coach Brown why you guys don't play Navy more. I want a Air Force Navy game. I want that to be like ESPN proper. How do we get that as a regular every year rivalry game?
We are.
Okay.
We've been playing them for quite a while now. I don't know, all 8 of my years as head coach, plus probably 3-4 years before that, at least. So we restarted that rivalry a while back. We started traveling out to California and just meeting them in California at north or south. And then we decided to say, hey, I'll come to your place. Let's do a home and away each year. So right now it alternates each year. We are out at Navy. This year we'll host them next year. So it's alternating that way now. We usually play mid-September, week 3, week 4.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we can start getting that stream, a little more media and press on that, because I think that's an important game. But back to the West Coast Conference, Tom, this will be your third, your junior year this year. What thus far could you reflect on and say, hey, this has been obviously an amazing experience, but playing in this conference as it gets better and better, what has been your favorite memory thus far?
I mean, when we played LMU last year, that was a really fun game, and we had a lot of people turn up. That's probably my favorite memory, because the way we approached that game was, it was so much more like loose and relaxed, and like, really enjoy this time you guys have, and we did, and we turned up a W, against a team who was ranked higher than us, and I think it shows that at our pool, anything's possible. So that's probably my favorite memory.
I love that. And a unique opportunity this year now to potentially take on LMU again. I'll share my screen here as we look at this, but here's kind of what this looks like. In order for you guys to take on LMU, you're going to have to get to the finals. You've got San Jose State in your first game. You don't want to look too far ahead. That Pepperdine-Santa Clara game, nothing guaranteed. Obviously Pacific with the 1 seed, LMU, CBU on the other side of it. So guys, good luck. We're really excited for you, and excited to be there. I'm excited to see you guys. Coach Brown, calling to meet you guys in person. Obviously, Tom, known for some time. Really excited to be there at Air Force Academy, be a part of this incredibly special event the West Coast Conference hosts. You guys taking on San Jose State, I believe, in the first game of the tournament as the host. Is that correct? Yeah. So that'll be the first game. And if you win, you'll get the winner of Pepperdine and Santa Clara. But if not, you'll be there to watch. And so we want to thank you guys for your time. We'd like to open it up. This is a unique opportunity. We've never done a live stream press conference like this before. It's never been done for the WCC. You're the first ever WCC live water polo press conference, guys. Coach Brown, why don't you kick us off? Anything you want to leave us with here in the last couple of minutes?
No, I appreciate you guys doing this. I think this is just another step up to, once again, our conference being the elite conference out there, and doing something special. So appreciate you guys doing this and getting this out there and doing this type of stuff. So appreciate you guys. Looking forward to having a fantastic tournament here at home, and look forward to having you guys out this week.
Awesome. Tom Leggett, anything from you?
Just excited to see you guys and excited to host everybody. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Amazing. And Colin, your last one.
Well, just thanks for having me, and it's going to be a good weekend, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, very much so. Appreciate you guys joining us. Next up, we'll have the reigning champs of the West Coast Conference, CBU, Coach Kevin Rosa, Alex Rigetti, and Andrea Nuzzo. In just a moment, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with them. Thank you, gentlemen, from the Air Force Academy, for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, Clay, that was a unique opportunity for us to sit down with the Air Force Academy coach. First time we've had him on the show. Give me your thoughts in 60 seconds or less before we bring in CBU here.
60 seconds, Wes, you're killing me. Oh, there goes 5. Yeah, it's always such a wonderful treat to get inside a little bit on these programs. You don't get as much spotlight on as these other programs, like your MPSFs or whatever. They have such belief and heart, and like they're not going to be pushovers. We know that, obviously, but it's a special time. Just the podcast that we're doing now, we're live streaming things. At first, we had to be very scripted in what we were saying because we were so scared about what we were saying, and now we can just very much go just with the flow. And it's really exciting to see the development of our sport, the development of news and media in the sport. So that was a great step forward.
Yeah, I love it. Well, next up, and we'll welcome these gentlemen in here now. We have Coach Kevin Rosa, Alex Rigetti, Andrea Nuzzo as part of the CBU crowd. We'll let Coach Rosa in now. All right, Coach Kevin Rosa, thank you so much for joining us. The reigning champs, the Cal Baptist University Lancers. I've heard some stories about the way you train, Coach Rosa. Talk to us about what this means before we bring in the players here with you, about what it means to be going to Air Force and taking on LMU in your first round game, trying to go back-to-back as WCC champions.
Well, it's thanks for having me on first. Appreciate all that you guys do. But it's pretty stressful. I mean, say it all comes down to kind of one game. All right, so
Yep.
a whole lot of conversations been happen all year long, and kind of now say now it's time to put up or shut up, and hopefully we get out there and play our best. So pretty stressful coming down here at the end, but this is why we play the game and why we get out there and do it. So hopefully we, like I say, put our best foot forward here coming up in a couple days.
Now I'm going to ask you a question here. We have coined this phrase "faith waits" in water polo this year. It's become very popular nomenclature. I think there were even some shirts made, which I better get one of those. But talk to us about the culture at CBU as you approach conference finals. You guys seem to play best when it matters most. What are you doing to bring out the best in these guys at the end of the season?
Well, we put a plan together at the beginning of the season. I mean, you're actually, when the season ends last year, you start working towards this year. So, and making sure that we are going to be consistent with our training all year long, and we're going to be consistent with everything that we do, whether that's in the weight room, say in the classroom, in the pool, to make sure that we play the right way, we do things the right way. So, I wish that I had a magic playbook that we peaked every time, every year at the same time. But say it's worked out well the last couple of years. Hopefully we can continue to do that. But consistency is the big thing. Just making sure that we have a long-term goal as well as some small goals. Okay, so making sure that we keep the bigger picture in mind as we go through the season. Understand that we're going to lose some, we're going to win some, but the ultimate goal is to get here, to get to where we are now, so that we can play the best that we can.
I love it. When do you guys arrive at Air Force?
Thursday.
Okay, so you get there Thursday. Some teams, I think, are getting there a little bit earlier. Your first round matchup is going to be against LMU, a team that you did lose to earlier this year. Anything in particular you're looking forward to in that matchup there?
Well, they're a great team. I think David's done awesome this year with say coming in and picking the reins up and running with that. I mean, they got some great experience, obviously, with Olika and Tommaso, and then they got a bunch of young guys coming in. So they're well balanced on both sides of the pool. And yeah, they took it to us last time. So hopefully we can get out there and play a little better this time.
Yeah, I love it. All right, we're going to welcome in two of your players now, Alex Righetti and Andrea Nuzzo. We've got plenty of questions for them. I know Clay is really excited. So just give me a moment here. Oh, they might be together. Are these guys together? Look at these guys are hanging out.
We love it. Linking up. The boys. 2 men, 1 camera.
2 men, 1 camera. There's no camera in the world that can hold these two guys. Andrea Nuzzo and Alex Righetti. Guys, gentlemen, thank you for joining the show. We love that you're here. We just wrapped up with Air Force Academy. I don't even know where to begin, but I've loved watching you guys play this year. I think I like watching you play every year. But Andrea, you have been, I'll start out, you've been, my opinion, the best lefty in the West Coast Conference this year as a sophomore, which is crazy. Talk to us about what has led to this rise of Andrea Nuzzo here in the United States as only a sophomore and being so dominant as a lefty.
I mean, I want to start thanking you for having me here. I'm really excited for that. And I mean, my team is always helping me. They helped me last year too. Wasn't really easy to get in a new place, new country, and start to learn. Also because water polo is completely different from Europe, and I feel that all the guys stepped up, helped me to feel comfortable. The coaches, they always been there to help me and make me feel happy and in the right place. So I just feel in the right place at the right moment. So I think that everything's comes easier when you are in a place where you can really be yourself.
I love it. Alex, you are the other statesman on this team. You've been a part of this program for a while. Talk to us about what the culture's like. I'm very curious. Give us some inside information on what the culture's like at CBU.
I mean, yeah, again, like Andre said, thanks for having us. The culture at CBU, I think it's completely different than a lot of other programs. Here at CBU, I mean, we really are a family, everybody on the team, we all get along in and out of the pool. And I think it's really something special. Throughout my 4 years here, I've made some really good friends, made a lot of good memories. And so I'm always thankful for this program and coaches for giving me this opportunity.
I love it, man. It's incredible. So you're in your final year. It'll be your last West Coast Conference championship tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look back a little bit. What do you think you've enjoyed the most, or something that like you reflect on in your 4 years that you can point to and say this was a real highlight for me?
I mean, obviously winning last year, that was definitely the biggest highlight, I would say. That was just, our biggest goal, and we accomplished it last year, and hoping we can do it again this year. But another thing that was a pretty cool memory was when we did our trip to Hungary as a team going into my junior year. That was a really cool experience, and seeing, how water polo is viewed in Europe and playing against teams, and, really bonding with the guys on our team, and it was a good experience overall.
That's awesome. Amazing. Now, Andrea, you lead the team in goals and assists, thus points. You're shooting 53.5%, 86 goals on 161 shots. Alex, you're shooting 56.7%, 51 goals on 90 shots with 34 drawn exclusions. The thing that stands out to me about your roster is there are a number of guys over 50% shooting. That is not common on most teams. What do you think contributes to that high level of kind of completion, if you will, consistency and performance throughout the team with 5-6 guys shooting over 50% this season for you?
I mean, I feel like every day in practice we compete against each other that hard. Like we want to be better than each other every time. So it's kind of like a competition inside of our team that is gonna help us to get better when we have games. Like anytime, every day, we compete against the goalies. We kind of look at each other when we shoot. We're like, okay, now I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna make it. So it's every day a competition also between us, and I think that it's a great thing because you can get better day after day doing that.
Yeah. And Coach Rosa, what have you seen in terms of growth throughout the year? Obviously, you dropped a game to LMU. That's your first round matchup. Just from a start to finish standpoint, you had tight ones against Long Beach State. You've won a couple of big games. You've lost a couple of big games, including one, against CBU and San Jose State late this year. Talk to us about the growth that you've seen and where the development you've seen has occurred this year, more so than maybe other years.
Well, coming together. I mean, we had 11 new faces that we brought into the program to start really the summer. So it just takes a long time to get that ready. So some of our better games, we've just been able to run off emotion and to be able just to get out there and play and be fed off the emotion. But now coming down to, we're really going to have to be able to be in step with each other and kind of predict each other's moves and making sure that we're running the system as opposed to just pure emotion. Say being at Air Force, it's obviously a different beast. I mean, we were there a couple of weeks ago, so we know what we're getting into. But we got to make sure that we're relying on each other and not just using the emotion, but having the emotion kind of propel us through our teamwork and relying on each other to do well.
Coach, you mentioned having long-term goals and short-term goals, which I think is pretty smart and wise to do. There's not a lot of time left in season. I'm curious, as a coach, and both to Alex and Andrea, what your guys' short-term goals are right now going into your next game, starting with Coach Rosa. Is there a very specific goal that you're looking to achieve?
Well, short-term goal, I mean, just attack tomorrow's practice like it could be your last practice. I mean, it's making sure that we are competing and we're putting ourselves in the position that we are up to speed. That we can't have a walkthrough or something like that. So that's the short-term goal is what are we doing right now to get better? I mean, what are they going to do tonight to get better? Are they going to get to sleep on time? Or are they going to go out and say, what are they going to do? They're going to watch film. So that's the short term is don't even worry about Thursday yet. Say, what can I do right now? What can I do today to make sure that we do our best on Friday? So that would be the short-term goal is just take each day. I know that's, coach speak a little bit, but that's what it is. Say we'll be in the weight room a little bit tomorrow. We'll be in the water for a couple hours tomorrow. And what are you doing tomorrow to get better? And then obviously long-term goal is putting, our 4 practice days together this coming up week, so that on Friday we're playing our best and putting the game plan together that we need to do on Friday to be successful.
Love that. What about you, Alex? So there's, by the way, there's like a team goal, but like I want to drill down to like a little bit more like personal to like you. Like, what are you wanting to achieve going into conference weekend?
I mean, yeah, like Coach said, short-term goals. The biggest thing is taking it day by day, and for conference tournament, I mean, we're focused on LMU. That's we can't focus on Saturday, Sunday if we don't get past Friday. So this week we're preparing for LMU, and then if we get past them, we'll focus on the next game after that.
Sounds good. Andre, anything to add?
I mean, agree with both of them. Like, up to Air Force is gonna be like every day a final, so we have to show up there and be ready from the first minute until the end of the game. So this week is gonna be really important for us. These days before flying up there, and we have to arrive there with the right mentality. So, I mean, as like long-term goal, obviously like win conference again, but like we have to focus day by day.
Yeah. And is there any plan besides arriving there a day early to help acclimate to the elevation? You guys taking salt pills? What's going on there?
Yeah, how are you getting pumped up? How are you adjusting to the altitude up in Air Force Academy?
Yeah, well, there's really no adjusting to the altitude. I mean, say all the literature says you at least would need to be there 2 weeks to get adjusted or acclimated to any type of elevation. So there's not there really. I've told the guys that, hey, it's going to hit you and then you're going to get past it. Hey, so I'd rather work on, hey, we've trained all year long. Okay, we've been doing training all year long to do this, and just, hey, know that everybody's going under the same conditions. And after the first couple of minutes, hey, it's just a regular water polo game, and try not to get hung up on it. I think if you get hung up on it, then it almost hits you harder. So we're going to push through it, say we'll get past it, and then we'll be able to just play water polo after that.
Did you just use the word liturgy to describe this?
I don't think I did, but
oh, okay. I thought you said there's liturgy. Maybe it was literature, and I'm like, it's really leaning into the faith side of faith weights and water polo here.
Literature.
All right. Well, maybe I'm.
There's probably both. There's
probably a little bit of both. A little bit of religion to it. Talk to us about, you're a faith-based university. How does that play into your approach here? How you approach the team, Coach Rosa, and what that means to you guys?
Well, our school kind of faith-based statement is to honor Christ through excellence in athletics. Okay? So we want to be excellent in athletics, but we also want to honor Christ in everything that we do, whether that is being sons, being teammates, being brothers. Whatever role that we're playing, we want to make sure that we're doing that. And obviously we have a chapel once a week, and we have religious classes that we go to. And some of the guys on the team are heavily into religion classes, and some guys, hey, they take it just like a normal elective class that you'd have to take just moving forward. So none of the guys push back against it. I mean, they all know, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do as a team. And it's whatever we do, we're going to do together. Like the guys said before, we're constantly together. We eat together, hang out together, and it's just one more opportunity for us to be together, and we're allowed to bring God into the equation, and say he helps us out on a daily basis.
I heard a rumor that you guys even get as detailed as you have to wear the same socks together. Is that true?
Oh, on weight room days and things like that, we do have socks that we wear together. On game days, we have socks, but they're just regular socks.
I love this. Like I'm a big uniform guy. Like everything coordinated and regimented. So this is I'm feeling very good.
John Wooden call back on how to tie your shoes.
Yeah,
do it the right way, the same way.
Yeah, very cool. Clay, what else you got for these guys?
I think it's exciting for what you guys bring to the table every single game, let alone conference. You guys have had some pretty exciting conference appearances these past few years. Yeah, and just thrilled to see what you guys are going to be able to pull off.
You've got a big. There's no sugarcoating it, right? You've got a tough first game as you roll into this conference tournament, if you will. You're taking on LMU, who you lost to earlier this year. That has never deterred you guys as we bring up the conference championship bracket. You'll then take on Pacific if you beat LMU. Can't look too far ahead. Pacific is who you faced in the semifinal last year. Both of you guys on the team last year. Obviously, the team's a little bit different this year. What's the mindset to go 3 for 3, which is what you're going to have to do to make the NCAA tournament again? And Andrea, why don't we start with you and we'll go to Alex.
I mean, we have to win we have to have a winning mentality. Like every game, how I said before, is going to be a final. So we can't we can't be scared. We have to face our enemies, like our opponents, and put everything we have in the water. So obviously, our goal is to win all 3 games and get the ticket for the NCAA again. But it's gonna be tough. But nobody said that we can't do it. So
yeah, that's why you play the game. Alex, what about you? What's your mentality going into this?
I mean, like I said earlier, our main focus right now is LMU. We can't look past them. But last time we played them, we gave them a lot of easy goals, a lot of turnovers, a lot of, mishaps on defense. So if we can limit those turnovers, really, work on the offensive side. And then when we play great on defense, when we have intensity on the defensive side, we're a great team, so that's kind of our main goals for Friday.
Yeah, Coach Rosa, how do you keep these guys focused through a 3-game tournament? 3 games, 3 days. It's different than a weekend tournament where you might have 4 games in 2 days, 4 games in 3 days. It's 1 game a day, which I prefer. How do you stay focused and then kind of be where your feet are of today we're focused on this, but you still have to without getting your mind ahead to playing a Pacific, to, making a final type of thing?
I think Alex said it best. We can't worry about Saturday. So all we're worried about is LMU. Is as soon as that game's done, hopefully we will shake hands, and then we'll immediately be on to the next game at that point in time. And that's kind of what we've done the last couple of years. It's there is no tomorrow, okay? So it's win or go home. So everything 100% effort is into LMU. That's all we gotta worry about now, because they're going to take 100% effort and more for us to be able to get a chance to be successful against them. So that's all we got to worry about now. And then as soon as that game's done, if it happens to go our way, then we can move on to the next game.
All right, so then let's talk about LMU. Good that you're focused on that. They run sort of a high press, play a little bit of what we would call small ball. They're quick on the counter. They gave you guys some problems with creating some turnovers the last time you did play. What are some adjustments, Coach Rosa, you're implementing going into this game in a couple of days here?
There's definitely a lot of teams that we play all year long are going to be dropping and running the zone. I mean, with Alex at center, I think you said something, 34 exclusions that he's drawn. He's drawn 97 exclusions on the season.
Update your stats for me, Coach.
Okay, well, but 97 drawn exclusions for Alex. So most teams take that away, but they were able to take Alex away by not allowing us to move the ball. So we know that we have to be able to handle pressure. They were physical, saying they were able to jump the lane and get a bunch of steals. So we definitely need to be able to release better, be able to move the ball. And if we can move the ball, then we think we could be a little bit more successful against their press and make them get into the zone a little bit faster.
I love it. Andrea, you kind of lead this team on the offensive attack. Talk to us about what you need to do, not turn the ball over, control the offense, finish your shots here to ensure a victory versus LMU in this first round matchup.
I mean, LMU does a really good press, so we have to be ready. We know that they're gonna run that. They will probably expect me to take some shots, so I will also be ready to make the pass, make an entry pass. We have 2 good centers, Alex and Rafa Martinez, that can make the move, drone injections. So doing that, I think that, my main focus is not just scoring, but let the team win, make the team win. So if I can shoot, I'm gonna do something else to help them arrive at our goal. So obviously, goal makes me happy, but score makes me happy, but it's not all about that. So
yeah. All right. And Alex, final question for you here before we kind of wrap things up with Cal Baptist University here and the Lancers. You're in your last conference, West Coast Conference tournament. What are you looking forward to most?
I mean, just the competition, and conference tournament is just a completely different ballgame than the rest of the season. The rest of the season, it doesn't really matter at this point. Every game.
It doesn't. It's a new
is when I go
season
home,
starting Friday, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So we just gotta take it game by game, and I'm just looking forward to the competition, and it's always a fun time. WCC does a great job promoting the tournament and making it a good experience for the players and the fans.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys taking the time. We're almost out of time now, but Coach Rosa, any closing thoughts, anything you want to share with us as you head into the weekend here? We very much appreciate the time that you've taken to do this live stream on a Sunday evening. The first ever live stream press conference the West Coast Conference has ever had for water polo. We're privileged to be able to bring this to everybody. Anything you'd like to leave us with?
I appreciate you having us on. Appreciate the WCC for hosting the conference tournament, and so we're excited to get out there on a big stage and perform well, and hopefully we can do that for multiple days in a row.
I love it. Alex, anything from you?
No, I mean, just look out for the Lancers. We're gonna come in hot. That's right.
Bring it on. Andrea, you'll wrap us up here. Anything you want to share or leave us with before we log off, or you guys log off, I say, and we move on to the next guest, but before heading into conference play?
I mean, we started the season as underdogs, and we're going to finish the season as underdogs. That's the only thing I want to say. How Alex and Coach said, like, we never give up. So just be ready.
I love it. Clay, anything else from you?
No, that's it. Thank you guys again so much for joining us. Excited to watch.
Yeah. Next up, we will have Santa Clara University Coach Keith Wilbur and Will Grant joining us. Don't go anywhere. In about 2 minutes, they will be joining us on the show here. Thank you to the CBU Lancers, Alex Rigetti, Andrea Nuzzo, Kevin Rosa. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
See you there.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's exciting.
We're rolling.
We're rolling. That's very exciting. And it's interesting to see these guys. We haven't had a couple of those guys on before. We've had Coach Rose on before, but just a unique opportunity here for these guys to get online and share their perspective. They're a very humble group.
Yeah, and common themes, obviously, as you would hope, of just being very present and focusing on not just the first game that's in front of them, but just their first practice, their first good night's sleep for a lot of these teams. So, we want to hear more about what they're thinking about these other teams. But like, as we would probably answer if we were being asked these questions, like there is nothing else to think about besides that very first game. So good on them for having that mentality.
Yeah. So next up, we'll have Santa Clara University in just a moment. We're going to take about a 2-minute break, and we'll be right back. All right, everyone, welcome back. We're excited to continue to bring this live coverage of the West Coast Conference press conference for championship weekend, or the West Coast Conference tournament. Next up, we'll have Coach Keith Wilbur and Coach Will Grant representing Santa Clara, who is the 6th seed going into the conference tournament this weekend. And here we go. They both should be joining us now. Coach Keith Wilbur, Coach Will Grant, thank you both for being here. Clayton and myself are very excited to chat with you both. I've had the privilege this year of being on deck with you guys a lot. Thank you for everything you guys are doing.
Thank you, Wes. Thank you, Clay. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for doing this, guys. It's awesome.
Yeah.
For the sport.
No problem. Coach Wilbur, it is your first time here at Water Polo Wednesday. Do you have any questions? Anything we can help you with?
No, Will did before, so he kind of gave me the ropes. So I'll just follow your guys' lead.
Yeah. Well, no players today, so just the two of y'all. We got a lot of questions for you. We got about 20 minutes to cover. This is being live streamed on our YouTube channel. We'll republish this later this week. But you guys are heading out to Air Force this week, the Air Force Academy, Colorado Springs. You got a tough matchup, first and foremost. You guys are 6th going in, so you'll take on Pepperdine, who you just played a couple of days ago on Friday. Talk to us about how things will need to change for you guys to kind of change the outcome after a tough loss against Pepperdine earlier last week. I think we've lost their audio here.
Oh, you got us now or no?
Yeah, that should be better. There we go.
Sorry. Yeah, it was a tough game on Friday, and I definitely think we both know we can play better. But there's stuff to work on. We have film to watch. I honestly, like, a couple things that jump out to us. I think we gave up way too much on counterattacks. That's something that we have to stop. That's the too many easy goals we give up in that game. And their zone defense that they ran, I think that's something that we can attack better than we did. So we definitely have things to work on, but we're looking forward to, like, we don't think we played our best, and it's kind of nice to be able in a week later have a second chance to do better than we did that first time.
Yeah. Coach Grant, you've been a shot of life to this program. You've come on, you've been a big culture leader for these guys. I know that you've been a big part of a lot of this recruiting and really helping out Coach Wilbur here, who's been honestly, like, not alone, but like, he hasn't had your level of talent, I think, as an assistant coach. You've recruited some great players. You got Ricardo De Simone, who leads the country in steals. I don't know how many. I think he's 49-4 is what your record says for sprints. I don't know who he's lost to, but he doesn't lose a lot of sprints. You got Emma van der Schaaf, another foreigner from the Netherlands, who's come in and been, a second leading scorer in goals and second in assists with 84 total points and second on your team. You continue to kind of rise. You're starting to put together some interesting pieces. How has that been, having so many different cultures and more of a transition for the last couple of years at Santa Clara?
Yeah, I mean, going back to our first time talking West all the way before season, it was going to be a process that we were kind of going to go through. And I think actually Coach Keith said this to me the other day, can't skip steps in this process. And you got to go piece by piece as you're building this thing. Yeah. I think that's what we're kind of looking at right now, is like, what can we do to kind of improve from this past game and kind of like fail forward into the next one, where it's like, yeah, maybe there wasn't some good stuff, but we're learning, we're seeing it. And honestly, like, I know people feel this way about it, but if we can win this next game, and losing that game is the best thing for us. So that's kind of the mentality we're having right now, is like, what can we learn from that experience? I think the cultures are interesting. I think we as a coaching staff are learning this blend of, hey, how do the internationals bring their experience, but adjust to the game here in the U.S.? What are the things that they kind of struggle with seeing? Maybe it's the reffing style. Maybe it's our coaching style, our communication. But I think, again, this is a process that we as a program feel really positive about how this year has turned out. Sure, there's been bumps in the road, but I think having the win over UOP, the only sole win, is something that we definitely highlight, that gives the guys hope, is like, hey, if you can do it then, you can do it now. And again, we got to grow throughout this process, but ultimately we feel like we're kind of positioned where if we can learn from this past week, and we can kind of put together some of these pieces that you're talking about to play our best when it matters most, that's what gets us really excited about this opportunity coming up in Colorado.
And a great opportunity at that, right? The regular season for just about every conference other than the MPSF really doesn't matter. And you could be 0-20 and you could still win your conference. We saw last year Pacific went undefeated in conference play with only one loss all season, that being to Fordham, lose to CBU in a semifinal. We saw UCI last year go undefeated in conference play and lose to Long Beach in a semifinal. there's no guarantee that a great regular season yields a great conference performance. How do you ensure that your team peaks going into this, taking on Pepperdine for the second time in, basically a week, and can kind of come out on top in a way that like will propel you to then take on the winner of Air Force San Jose State?
I lost audio.
I lost audio with these guys too. Yeah, second.
Oh, sorry.
There-
If you
there
can
you're
hear
back.
me, just
I
No,
can
I
hear
can.
you now.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sorry.
So the idea is that we want to focus on ourselves. Like even though the opponents are kind of going to be there, we want the message to be focusing on ourselves throughout this tournament. And that makes it again just a grounding point as your opponent changes. What is it that you need to do? Every opponent we've played before, to your point, and we have to learn from those experiences, kind of like we talked about. But whoever we play, again, something we can look at is ourselves. And I know that's something that Coach Keith has been talking about a lot all year as well.
Yeah, Coach Wilbur, you brought on Will Grant. Good hire, by the way. We like him very much on this show. He's been great to the show. I've really enjoyed being around your program, your culture. You guys always have, a snack ready for me when I get on the deck. But talk to me about like, hey,
He talks to me about those snacks, by the way. He's
very good. Yeah, the Welch's great. The Welch's gummies, I love them. But talk to me about how you've seen this culture change throughout, maybe not just this year, but the last couple of years as things have kind of turned around for Santa Clara.
Yeah, I mean, a lot changed, I'd say, in the last 5 years. Like just like you said, like my first 12 years here, I was coaching both teams by myself without an assistant. We got an assistant 12 years ago, but I'd say 5 years ago when they split the programs and we're able to focus on, like, I was able to focus on the men's team on a year-round basis, but at the same time, we're able to hire a full-time assistant, like you said, was a great hire. So a lot happened where we were able to like focus on the men's team on a year-round basis. We got more resources, we got scholarships, we were able to bring internationals. So a lot of different things happened in terms of our coaching staff, coaching one team, having resources to bring international students, and we're trying to do a lot to elevate this program to another level and bringing all those things together. And part of it's a little bit of a learning process for us, like how these different things work, how to recruit, how to integrate these players into the system that we have. And again, it's hard to think about, but even like the players we have that we brought in, our freshmen and sophomores on the team, we're still a pretty young team. If you look at our starting lineup and what we have out there, and we're growing throughout each season. We're thinking about how can we grow and be, like you said, our best, peaking at the end of the season. So honestly, this year we've kind of got up and down a little bit. I think we kind of rough stretch. We started to fix it after the JFM, and we had a couple of good weeks, and then we just had a little setback against Pepperdine. But we have bounced back from games like that in the past. I think we can do that going into next week. I also like the fact that we're playing up at Air Force, and we just played there 2 weeks ago. I think the schedule was nice to us that we just had experience flying out there, going to the hotel, getting used to the trying altitude. That's something we just did 2 weeks ago, winning a tough game on the road at Air Force that we feel good about, that we can go back and play at a high level.
Awesome. And look, you've talked about how funding has changed. You're now taking on a single program, if you will, just the men's program. It's allowed for you to focus more on, one group as opposed to splitting time, that's a huge advantage for you, or change, I should say, an advantage for your guys that you're taking, all your time is dedicated to them. What would you say are 2 or 3 things you've seen change since that adjustment? From just a culture standpoint, a personality standpoint of your team, how are they responding to it? I can't hear you. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Just like the first thing is the year-round training. Like when we were coaching women, I was coaching women. It's impossible to do what other coaches are doing one program. So like the level of like the workouts, the off season, the spring, the games, we're just playing a lot more in the off season, training more, doing more in the winter, spring, summer than we're able to do. And like we did a lot, I'd say, over the summer in the past, but when the women's team was going the winter, spring, that's been a huge where these guys are just going year round. So that kind of mindset, and the guys realizing like, hey, this is a year round thing. We're committed. Where the whole off season is like committed to development. That's been a huge thing for our program to be able to train on a year round basis.
Yeah.
Same thing with recruiting. Like I very often felt I was catching up with the recruiting over the summer because I didn't have
Yeah.
spring and the winter to do it. So I was like going to summer tournaments, and a lot of these coaches had seen people already while I was coaching the women. So we're a lot ahead on the recruiting. And I would say, like, yeah, we're going after internationals and getting good national players, but I really like the players we're finding from the U.S. as well, and we're identifying them earlier, talking to them earlier, bringing them in. So I think we're building a good program off recruiting, not just with internationals, but also quality players from the United States that want to come to Santa Clara. So like a good school, good program. I think they see that we're on the rise.
That's great. I'd like to hear a little bit, Wes, you probably know this well already, but from both coaches, how did you two like link up? What was your history together? And then,
Will
how did
played
we
for
find
me.
ourselves here?
Will graduated from Santa Clara in 2016. So I recruited him, coming from Pennsylvania, but he was a recommendation. I knew the Princeton coaches pretty well. He played with the Princeton club. They told me he was looking to come out and play. So honestly, it was a recommendation from Derek, who's the women's coach now at Princeton. I honestly didn't know a lot about Will, but I'm like, I trusted Derek, and he gave him a shot. He came in, he redshirted his freshman year. Like, I think coming from out of state, like there was some stuff, but he really
There's some
quickly
stuff.
became he just didn't have the experience.
That's one way to put it. Coming
Yeah,
from out of
there's
state, there's some
process that
stuff,
happened a
but
lot.
we cleaned it up a little
He
bit.
didn't have the experience that some of the other guys had, but he was a very good player, very talented, and was very quickly a contributor on the team. Like by his sophomore year, he was playing a lot. Junior, senior year, like he was a captain. Like he escalated really quick and did really well. And like after he graduated, I remember going on JOs and seeing him coaching with the SF club and being excited to see that he was coaching. And as stuff was happening at Santa Clara, I think he heard maybe from our like our women's coach. I don't know how he knew, but like that, hey, we might be getting an assistant. I remember him calling up and saying, hey, could we get a cup of coffee and talk? And him letting me know, hey, like if this thing happens, it's something I'd be really interested in. And I could tell he was like a young, passionate coach, and he was all in. Like he was doing club, he was doing ODP, he was doing high school, like he was doing everything. And I'm like, yeah, this is the guy we want to bring in the program if we get that opportunity. So it was a very easy hire. It was somebody I knew, somebody I coached, but also somebody I think like really wanted to grow himself after he left as a coach. And that's what I really like most about it.
So, Will, how did you hear about the role, and at what point did you know that you just wanted to go full on to coaching?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was from Coach Claire Lenny, who was my assistant here. She came in my sophomore year, and then once the programs were kind of leaning towards splitting, I think that's what had happened. Is that Claire had kind of heard that she was going to be starting to possibly lead the women's. I think there was a year where you were kind of helping out a little bit. I know Allie was on board, but there was like a 6-month gap period where it's like, hey, we think things are moving in the right direction. And yeah, it kind of just like went from there. But for me personally, the sport's meant a lot to me in many different ways. I think coming to Santa Clara in particular, getting an opportunity like I did here, I changed a lot as a person here. I can talk to a wall now. That wasn't the case when I was 17, 18 years old here for the first time. So like, I think it's just like this place means a lot to me. The program, the school, the people, the community, it all kind of means a lot. But specifically into coaching, I've always kind of found that there was something I wanted to give back. I actually got into teaching beforehand. So before I came to Santa Clara, I was helping out at St. Ignatius up in San Francisco. And there was a teacher who had, fortunately and unfortunately, been diagnosed with breast cancer. Now, she made a full recovery, which is incredible and an amazing story, but it meant my teaching career ended very briefly after 6 months. And so I ended up getting a job at a different school in San Francisco at Convent and Stewart Hall. And they were great, honestly. They allowed me to keep coaching at SI. They knew how important water polo was to me to stay involved in the sport. And it was a very unique opportunity. I was very, very thankful for the people there that allowed me to continue my passion. So I was teaching at one school, biology class to juniors and seniors, and I was working at SI, kind of coaching community of the South Bay whenever we had games and stuff like that. And it kind of just naturally progressed that towards the end of that year of teaching, the Santa Clara job came up, and that was a no-brainer to be able to transition to the career that I really had a passion for. Again, teaching was a really great way to connect with students. And at SI, I really loved teaching my players. It's a really cool way to interact with them in a different environment and a different kind of like capacity. So being able to kind of like build off of that and make it a full-time career where you're coaching, but also teaching your players, getting to interact with them. I mean, just, on Friday, I know the game was tough, but we had senior day afterwards. And the junior class wrote like a ad lib poem for the seniors. And it's just like those random little collisions that you get to see that like, it really means a lot to be a part of that and see the program that meant so much to you, that culture, that while we're changing it, like we're trying to kind of like increase it. there's a lot of positives that have been here since before I came here as well. And I think that's a big testament to Coach Keith and the culture that's already been established, and how we're just trying to transition a little bit more to like, hey, what's it going to take to get us to that next step in the pool? There's a lot of great foundations that we're already building off of.
I have a more personal question for you, Will.
Yeah.
You went Santa Clara, you went SI. Did you go to a Jesuit high school growing up?
Actually, Augustinian. So all Catholic boys school. Jesuits aren't as prominent on the East Coast, but I went to a school called Malvern Preparatory School, which is an all boys Catholic independent school about 45 minutes outside of Philadelphia. And I actually did a postgraduate year at Deerfield Academy. So I guess I definitely wasn't 17, 18. I was much older when I started my freshman year, and I was still bad at defense. So I was like 18, 19 years old when I got here to Santa Clara. But yeah, so my journey kind of is bouncing around a lot, and that's kind of my life story too, a little bit. Not
Yeah,
but yeah.
I mean, I've studied the Jesuits quite a bit. I've been a professor at Jesuit universities, and I've done this. If you're familiar with the spiritual exercises, they do a month. I did a week of silence. It's a near and dear to my heart as well, and I'm just kind of impressed, to be honest with you. Just what you're bringing, the teaching aspect of this, the passion and the culture. It's easy to see why, Santa Clara is so much on the rise, and all credit to Coach Wilbur for finding you and keeping you in the fold here. So very cool. Now, you guys, again, you're playing Pepperdine, you're going to Air Force. What challenges do you guys see going to altitude, potentially playing in a different pool? What does that look like? I'll bring up the bracket in just a moment here. But yeah, go ahead, answer the question as I bring this up.
It's definitely a challenge to play at altitude, but I think outside of if you're playing Air Force, I think everybody's kind of in the same boat. Like, we're all going up there, so it's something that it's the same kind of environment for everybody. Like I said, I think it does help us that we did it just a couple weeks ago. I think we're used to it, and I thought the guys were well prepared. We've been doing stuff in terms of like hypoxic sets and stuff like that, working on controlled breathing and stuff. So it's something that we've been doing for the last month, knowing that we were going to play there and then also have conference championships there. So I don't think that's something that the team's worried about at all in terms of going to altitude and playing. That's something that I don't want to say we're looking forward to, but we're comfortable with, if that makes sense. And then Pepperdine, like I said, I don't think we put our best foot forward last Friday. I think there's stuff that we can watch from that game and learn from. I think we can come out and play a better game. And yeah, in terms of the brackets, I know for us, it's definitely, I think the conference, there's a lot of parity, from 1 through 7, like everybody has the capability of beating each other. And like to Will said, like we beat UOP early in the year. Like I think we know we're capable of doing
only
that.
Team in the West Coast Conference to do so.
Exactly. So I think from our standpoint, what we said at the beginning of the year, it's like, can you peak at the right time and play your 3 best games in a row? That's what our mindset is, and it's to take it one game at a time. And our first challenge is Pepperdine, and we're really not looking past that game. Whoever we end up seeing, we know is going to be a quality team. Game 2, game 3, but right now the focus is get in there, and like we have to play better than we did last Friday, but we definitely think we're capable and we can win that game and get to the next round. And then we'll focus on who the opponent is when we get there.
I love it. Yeah, could be anybody for that matter. Will, what about you? You've done this more recently than Coach Wilbur in terms of playing in a conference championship. How different is it as a coach, and what are some of the things you're telling your team going in to a big event here? Obviously, Emma Vandershoff, his first conference championship opportunity here. Ricardo De Simone only his second. Both of them have quite a few more years here. What's the tutelage? What's the mentoring like behind the scenes?
I think it's a lot of themselves. I think, pressure is a privilege is a great coaching phrase that people like to throw around, but it's really true. To put yourself in this environment, the pressure shouldn't be something that makes you play worse. It should be something that shows you this is important. And playing an important game is great, but it's the same 4 quarters that are 8 minutes against the opponent that we played last week. So don't make it bigger than it is. Focus on what the game is and just focus on yourself. Like that. That's again, the message always comes back to the same thing, the same core principle of we focus on ourselves. We focus on what we can control, the little things. We do those little things right. Sure, the opponent may have some things that we have to adjust in the quarter breaks and the halftime breaks, but no matter who we match up, that's the message. I think the one thing too that's like honestly for me, when I think back to conference championships at Air Force, indoor pool is the one thing that sets us apart from everything else. So communication is going to be super important. When we go back to Princeton early in the year, we talk about that. Playing in an indoor pool changes a lot of things. Even just the chlorine in the air. Forget the atmosphere or like how high up we are, but it's just an indoor pool. It creates a little bit of a different environment. And For our internationals, maybe that makes them relate back to home a little bit. I don't know. But to each person, take what makes that experience unique, but focus on the task at hand and don't make it bigger than you have to. I think that's the main message.
I love that. I always had a hard time playing in an indoor pool. Like I could never hear anything.
Yeah, it's different.
Like,
Again,
these
are the benefits to starting your career in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
There it is.
Shallow, deep pools as well, but we don't want that for confidence.
No, you don't want that. That starts fights. The people just jump off the bottom, clubbing each other. Yeah. Go ahead, Clay. Sorry.
No, just like to the indoor pool side of things. It's totally different. I remember CIF finals my junior year at Los Alamitos with Dave Carlson. He like developed his own systems on like how to get our attention and how to communicate because he knew it was going to be just absolutely, you couldn't hear a thing in Belmont Shore and Long
Belmont
Beach.
Plaza.
Belmont Plaza over there. And he was right. And it really worked well for us. But so point taken.
Very cool. We're so appreciative of you guys taking the time, obviously, to be here and be a part of this, the first ever live stream West Coast Conference media day, if you will, press conference going into the conference tournament. We got a couple minutes left. We want to open it up to you. We like to say, hey, the studio is yours. Talk to us about, share anything you want. This is kind of like your opportunity before you head off and heads down for the next week.
Yeah, just a big thank you to you guys to start. Like, I think what you guys are doing is obviously great for the sport, but selfishly great for our conference. Like, I know the MPSF was able to do something early in the season, but if we're copying those guys, I think that's a big win and a big promotion for what this conference should be, which I know you guys say it all the time. It's one of the best, if not the best conferences in college water polo, which is awesome. So I think that's number one. Number two, my main message would be for the guys. Like I said, like if they're watching, if they're following along, like we as a coaching staff have a lot of confidence of what we can do. And we believe we can play our best water polo at the end of the season. And that's what I want everyone to kind of know is that we feel good right now. We feel like we can go into this with some momentum, feel like we can play our best. And at the end of the day, focus on ourselves, focus on what we do well, and take every play one at a time as we kind of progress through the tournament. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
They copied us. We announced this early on, and all of a sudden it popped up. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? We've been talking about this for some time. Coach Wilbur, go ahead.
I'm kind of lost. I like what Will said. I agree with. Like we're just going in. Again, we want to peak at the right time, and I think to me it's like an exciting time. Like Will said, pressure and privilege, but I think going up to Air Force, playing indoor pool, playing Mile High, like it's fun. It's like a cool environment. I think I want the guys to embrace the challenge, have fun with it, and again, like play their best. And I like to echo what he said. I think what you guys are doing is really cool for water polo, and just want to thank you for having us on this program and for everything you do to like promote the sport. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah. I appreciate that very much. Yep. And a very personal thank you from me to you for having me at Santa Clara this year, being on a number of those home broadcasts. I know Mark Larson's a big part of that, Mark Rodriguez as well. Have to just thank these guys. It has been a real privilege to be on the deck, watch you guys coach, be a part of the Julian Frazier Memorial Tournament, which I know is very near and dear to you, Will, and just be able to hopefully bring to life the Santa Clara program. And again, thank you both for being here. Thank you for that opportunity this year. Would love to do more. I'm so excited to be at Air Force Academy with you guys. We will see you on Thursday for your shoot around warm-up practice. Be sure to say hi, but thank you both for being here. Next up, we've got San Jose State University in just a moment, and we'll be right back with them right after this.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Well, Clay, that was, just so cool just to have the opportunity to connect with these guys.
And that's what we've been talking about this whole season, or since we started the podcast over a year ago, is like a really important part to the growth of the sport is putting personalities out there and just getting to know the people that are behind these programs, the coaching staff, the players. So it's not just UCLA this or, Pacific that. It's like, who are the people? Because that's when viewers start to care and get invested.
Yeah,
a little bit more. That's when stories develop. So it's just really magical to have all this come together.
Yeah, it really is. And a privilege for us to be able to host this as we continue on. Now we're halfway through, Clay. Next up, San Jose State. We're going to bring in Coach Gabor Sarushi here to talk to us. So here we go. Coach Gabor Sarushi, everybody.
Gabor.
Where are you?
From the woods.
Are you at Air Force?
He's already in Colorado. He's already in Colorado.
This is incredible. We can't hear you, Gabor. So you're going to need to turn your microphone on or unmute yourself over there. We can't hear you. Apparently, there's no sound in the woods.
How about now? How's it going, gentlemen?
Where, dude? First time ever we've had somebody. Are you camping?
It does look like that. All right. No, just outside of a gym. My kids are playing basketball.
Okay,
So
I got it.
try
Well,
to
thank
find a
you.
quiet spot somewhere else.
Yeah, thank you for being here. We appreciate you taking the time on a Sunday evening while your children are playing basketball. Great to see you, Gabor. You guys have had a heck of a year. Before we let the players in, we wanted to talk to you a little bit before we get to them. We'll jump to your slide. We've got Laszlo Seaman and Eric Dusen coming on. Gabor, talk to us about this year.
It's not over yet,
No.
thankfully. We
Yeah,
still have another week at least. It was definitely another good year, I would say. We're getting better every year, and it's exciting for the program. It's exciting for us be involved with the program. This is our first ever regular season champion, co-champion title that we had. We've been in a championship game in the tournaments the last 2 years in a row, but not in the regular season. We had a few ups and downs, just like every college team in general. But I know it's a good group of guys. They've been working hard together, and I'm very proud of them.
Yeah. Yeah, so you come in as co-conference champions. The only loss in conference play was to Pacific at Pacific. You won't see them again unless you both get to the finals. Talk to us about the approach that you're taking as a coach leading into this week, having to play at Air Force, which, altitude, indoor pool, the great equalizer. How are you preparing your team? We're going to ask them that question. So we'll see if they feel like they're doing what you think they're doing.
I'm not going to spill too much of a beans, I would say. We approach it every one game at a time. Everybody in our conference can beat anyone, so we can't even look 2 games ahead. Air Force at Air Force is going to be a really, really challenging game. Luckily, we played them 2 weeks ago, so we kind of experienced what it's like to be playing indoor, high altitude, slightly narrow pool. That's a big factor as well.
Sure.
Hopefully, we have a similar score that we did first time we played them. But like I said, our conference is crazy good. It's really cool to be part of it, but we can't look further ahead than Air Force.
Yeah, it is a great conference. The number 2 rated RPI this season. Last year was number 1 rated RPI in the country. Continues to be so deep. You've got a lot of talent here, a lot of foreigners as well. You have what I think is the WCC Player of the Year in Sam Keatley, a true freshman coming in from New Zealand/Australia. Talk to us about his impact through the regular season.
He's a very special player. We're very lucky to have him, especially just like you said, as a freshman, making a huge impact right off the bat. He came in shape. He's one of those players that can play any position. Really hard to guard one-on-one, really. He's physically very talented. He's tall, long, very fast. And, we're lucky to have him.
Yeah. 41 drawn exclusions on the year, and he's not a true center. 11 steals, 43 of 73 shooting, 59%. You don't see that much, full stop. Like, you just don't see that a lot at all, let alone being a true freshman and doing that. So really a special player for you. Before we bring these other guys in, I do want to talk about Shamu Vieros and Mitch Keatley, who have been kind of the returners have stepped up. Obviously, Laszlo Seaman, an elite center defender in the country. How have Shamu and Mitch kind of grown through the last year for you? And of course, we'll give Eric and Laszlo their due as well.
They, just like you said, they both returners. They understand the system that we try to run in offense and defense.
Yeah,
I think last year was a good year for them to really build their confidence, and this year is another good year for them to really pivot and be one of those leaders that we need them to be moving forward. Shamu being a sophomore, Mitch being a junior. It's exciting that they're coming back next year and 2 more years with Shamu. Both of them are really good shooters. You can't really leave them open in offense. Both of them improved a lot in defense, and that's one of the reasons that they are playing a lot of minutes for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool. Well, you have one of the best defensive teams in the country, not just the WCC, but one of the best defenses in the country. We'll go ahead and bring in Laszlo Seaman now and Eric Dusen. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Laszlo Sieben, the senior starting center defender. Eric Doosan, you play that right side for Gabor Sarushi's team here. He's had a lot of nice things to say about both of you guys. Thank you both for being here.
Of course. Thank you guys for having us on.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. So, Laszlo, you start at the center defender position. Obviously, you guys are a very good defensive team. That's not a surprise to any of us. It starts with, in my opinion, the center defender. You have the great Brendan Jopyash behind you, who is, for my money, the best goalie in the country right now. I think he and Charlie Mills, for what it's worth, and Mills has been playing unbelievable. What does that do for you as a center defender to have a guy like Jopyash behind you? How does that change your approach to playing center defense?
I think it's very important to have a guy like that behind me. I think the trust that we have between each other is big, not just with him, but with the whole team. It's been this year has been crucial for the most part. As coach usually likes to say, the press defense is the best defense until everybody is doing it, all 6 people or all 7. And obviously that's starts with the goalie as well, with his calling out where the ball is, with me trying to get the position, with the guys not letting the ball swing. So, but to answer your question, it's a good position we are in to have Brendan in our cage for sure.
Yeah, and Lotzi, you're in your last year here. It'll be your last West Coast Conference championship. You're going all the way to Air Force. What are you looking forward to most?
Looking by game by game. Obviously, there's no surprise that we want to bring it home. Just like I wasn't able to play last year. We got into the final, but the year before I was, and not gonna lie, it was a good feeling. So I definitely want to do it again.
Yeah. Hey, you won it the last time you played. You guys won it. I believe 2 years ago. Correct? Am I correct in thinking that? Yeah. Very cool. And Eric, good to see you. You're out of Costa Mesa, California, which is close to home for me. How did you find San Jose State? Talk to us about your experience thus far with the Spartans here and Coach Gabor.
Yeah, of course. So my journey, being one of the only few Americans on this roster, is definitely, I think, unique. Senior year of high school, I definitely was probably a little late into sending emails. So I just reached out to Gabor before the season started, and then I was able to go to the North-South tournament up here in NorCal, and then that's when I met Gabor for the first time. He came out, so it was a good opportunity. Was able to go on a visit in the spring and get to meet some of the players and the coaching staff. So after that, especially being at in-state school with being in-state tuition, it was a big incentive for me to go there.
Sure. Yeah, and you've really grown through your career here, right? Like you, as a freshman, you came in, there's probably some development that needed to occur. Now as a senior, contributing impactful minutes, impactful statistics. Talk to us about what that growth has been like for you over the last 4 years.
Yeah, so in the first year, not getting that much minutes, getting just used to the collegiate level, Division I. Definitely nervous my first years, but I was able to get good minutes, just get used to playing up in this level. And I think over the years I've been continuing to have good minutes. So I think I've just been used to it over these past years, and I'm really looking forward to the tournament this upcoming weekend and what the team has to offer.
Yeah. Now you guys played Air Force 2 weeks ago, as Coach Gabor recently mentioned. This week will be different. It's hard to beat a team twice at home. It's hard to beat a team a second time at home when it comes to conference tournament and championships, right? Like they're going to have the band out there. It's going to be indoors. What are you guys doing to stay focused, stay present, not let the moment be too big? I mean, I don't know the last time I looked at a bracket and regretted having the 2 seed and having to play a home team like Air Force at Air Force. Lotzi, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. As I said before, game by game. I don't even think that we should look too much ahead. Air Force is going to be tough at Air Force. That's not a question. The last time we were there, as we understood, the students, that was one of the weekends in the semester where they were able to go home, so they didn't have their fans there. Which, I mean, every home court, if they can bring out the fans, is going to be a big advantage. So I think obviously this time they're going to be there, so that's always another, I guess, advantage for them. But I mean, we are not going easy on anyone, so it's going to be a fun game for sure.
Yeah, Eric, what about you?
Yeah, just staying composed, really. I think where the team has been the past 2 years, being in the high pressure environment of making it to the finals, we're kind of used to, dealing with these situations where, it's win or go home. So putting ourselves in that position as much as we can helps us out definitely. And I think, most of the returners being there before in these important games just helps us have that confidence and trusting each other. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Clay.
Gabi, how did you and Laszlo first get connected?
Let's you want to
They're
take
laughing.
Yeah.
I love the laughter to start.
Yeah,
Can't wait to hear
both of
this.
It's a
Yeah.
fun story.
That's actually a funny story,
So-
but I won't let you to start it. I'll finish it.
Yeah, so in 2018, I came here to play in JOs, and I played for the MR, and we had a tournament. I don't remember which tournament was it. Maybe Futures, whatever. We were at a game, and I went to the restroom before the game, and Coach Gabor is coming in as well, and he sees my Hungarian Speedo. He's asking me like, "Are you from Hungary?" and like, "What's going on there?" And I guess since then we stayed in touch, and
That's a
and I
special
was
start to a
fortunate enough to
friendship.
come here.
Absolutely.
I was coming in, he was leaving. Just to clarify the story, he was wearing a Hungarian Speedo. Yes,
He wasn't in a stall. Okay, we won't go there. Wonderful. This has been.
But anyways, he was one of those 17 years old handing out business cards to everybody.
Yes,
with his name on it,
I can
contact
imagine.
info, and all
Yep,
that stuff.
yep.
And we stayed in touch.
You'll
and-
QR code to his
yeah.
LinkedIn, right? So
Indeed.
there's been a lot of really shining moments for San Jose State this season, undoubtedly. Looking back at this season, I'd like for each of you to call out something different that you think has contributed to the best that you've seen this season for San Jose State. We can start with Eric.
Eric, you want to go ahead?
One thing this season, I guess, that helped us become the team that we're kind of at right now. I guess the additional tournament in the beginning of the season in San Diego helped us just test us where we're at. Usually we have, we're in the second week into the season before we first play our game. So having that additional tournament kind of helped us just improve confidence in the team and cohesiveness to be able to work together. So I think that definitely helped us, especially our win against Long Beach helped us have a strong start to the season.
I bet.
It's a little bit of a cliche, but when we had a little bit tougher 2 weeks, when we lost to Santa Barbara, Pacific, all these times, it's gonna create either it's gonna pull the team away or it's gonna pull it together. And I think we were able to do a good job to stand up from that. And I don't know, I'm hoping that's gonna continue, and yeah.
Gabor.
For me, it was more of the consistency from previous years to this one. I felt like in previous years we had some good wins, but also we had some really bad losses, and we weren't as consistent on big games. I felt like this year, even though we lost a few games, of course, they were close games. We were in it. We could have won them as well, and it's really cool to see the growth in the players and the team in general.
Is there something that you would attribute to that incremental growth?
I think they're just more comfortable with each other. They've been playing together for a long time. I mean, Lutzi's been on the program for 5 years. Eric has been here for 4 years. Just in general, the returning class. I think pulled the younger group together, and they just clicked a little bit more this year, I would say.
Interesting. So the continuity, having guys around a little bit longer, has helped kind of bring up the younger guys and keep the consistency of the team together. You guys have great defense, second best defense from a goals against standpoint in the West Coast Conference. But when I look at championships, I throw data and statistics out the window because it's in a one-off game. Frankly, data is not great at predictions. I could tell you what's predicted, but I don't think that does anything for you. Talk to me about what has to go right for you guys to go on a run here and win 3 games in a row, starting with Air Force, then, of course, taking on the winner of Santa Clara Pepperdine, and then ultimately, a championship. Gabor can answer that as everybody's sitting there going, who's going to take that one? That's all right. Gabor, go ahead.
Put me on the spot.
Yeah, that's all right. Gabor, go ahead.
For sure. I think we, just mentioned earlier, Air Force is a great team, and one of those teams that you give them a little bit of break for 2-3 minutes, they can score 4 or 5 goals just on a heartbeat. Modern water polo is just like that, and they have the speed, they have the talent to do that, and anybody in our conference. So I think for us to be successful is just to have a game put together from the first second on to the last, and play as a team, good defensively, offensively, and just kind of execute our plan for each of those opponents.
Lotzi, what do you see? You're in your both of you guys are in your final years. What has to go right for you guys?
I mean, water polo is a team sport, but also like individual performance matters a lot. And it's good that it's a team sport because obviously if somebody has a little bit worse day, then other people can step up. And we have a good talent in this team. And I think the realization of using that talent, and if somebody has an off day, to be able to let the other guys step up, and for that other guys to be able to actually do that. But yeah, for everybody to bring their A game, to be concentrated from the first second to the last, and just lock in.
I love it. Eric, what about you? What needs to go right for you on that right side to be able to come up with a West Coast Conference championship and earn an NC2A bid?
Yeah, I think like doing the little things right, not cutting corners, finishing like defensive positions, not leaving early. The 4-5 side, having the ball, keeping it with patience, looking for that last second entry possibly. But I think putting teams away when we should beat them early on, not letting them think that they're still in the game, not giving them energy. And I think we know who we are and we know how we could play, and I think it's looking good for the team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, excited to see, how your defense holds up over 3 consecutive days of games. You guys don't play a lot. The way your schedule is structured, which I personally applaud, is really 1 game a week. Occasionally you'll get 2 here and there, but it's a lot of 1 game a week. This will be 3 games in 3 days. I'm sure the fitness is not going to be a question. You guys are young. I know Gabor likes to swim a bit, having known him for some time now. So really looking forward to this opportunity, and want to thank all you guys. Obviously you guys have been very kind to us. We appreciate you being here. I've been on the deck with you for a couple of games and appreciate that opportunity to see you guys play firsthand. And of course, Coach Gabor for having me. Anything you guys would like to leave us with? This is kind of what I like to say. The studio is yours. We open it up. You share anything you want. We're going to go Lotzi, Eric, and then Gabor to end it. Go ahead, Lotzi.
I'm not sure.
That's okay too.
Yeah, nothing. I think we have the talent, and we're gonna bring our best, and that's what's gonna matter. I think this team, looking back the last few years, as you said, it's my 5th year. So I think I saw it all. But one thing that this team was always able to do is to lock in for that last bit, and that's what we are planning to do. we have the talent, and we want it to come out the best way possible. So,
all right, Eric, go ahead.
I just want to say, thank you, Wes and Clay, for having us on, for putting this together. It does a lot for the sport and bringing more attention to the conference and the players. So I always enjoy hearing you guys announce the games. So I appreciate everything you guys do for us. But yeah, looking forward to the weekend. It should be exciting in Air Force. Both sides of the bracket are pretty competitive. So it should be a fun weekend of water polo. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, I'll be there with you. And hopefully it goes well, and we'll get to call out your name quite a bit and get excited. Gabor, go ahead.
I want to do a shout out to all of our guys on our team. They really put the work in this past summer and this season. I'm really proud of them. Obviously, not done yet. So just keep up the good work. Also want to say thank you for both of you. You guys are doing a lot for our sport. I'm always looking forward to watching your podcast every week. It's
He's the one.
He's the one viewer we have.
He's the one.
one of them. No, there are many. Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing you guys this weekend. Clay, where are you going to be this weekend? You're not going to Colorado?
I'll be at home, but watching.
Yeah. That's all right.
I didn't get the call. I didn't get the call this year.
He's early days. We'll get him somewhere next year, but he's done a great job on.
I need you to pull some strings, Gabi. Come on.
Yeah. So, well, guys, thank you so much. It's the first ever West Coast Conference Media Day press going into the West Coast Conference tournament hosted at Air Force. You guys will be taking on Air Force in the very first game of the West Coast Conference Championship tournament. And I hope for a bid to the NC2A tournament and to win your second title in 3 years. Congratulations again on your co-conference championship, going 6-1. Excuse me, 6-1, 5-1 in conference play. There are only 7 teams, so that would be odd. You don't get to play yourself. 5-1 in conference play. Your only loss coming to Pacific at Pacific. They'll be the 1 seed. You will be the 2 seed. The 2 best defensive teams from a goals against standpoint over the course of the year in both San Jose State and Pacific. We'll be right back with LMU right after these guys exit. Clay and I do a little recap. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. We very much appreciate you taking the time on a Sunday evening.
Thank you, guys. Godspeed, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Good luck.
Yeah. Spartans.
I think we're having too much fun here, my man. This is great. This is great.
We're having enough fun.
Oh, I'm having too much fun. These guys are so excited about this. I love that we're able to bring this to everybody. For everybody out there who is watching live, we appreciate you. There is a chat open on the YouTube. Be sure to go ahead and chat away. Clayton and I can see it. If you have questions for certain players, certain teams, feel free to send them in. We'll get to them if we can. We appreciate all the help, all the viewership that we are getting out there. I love to see the statistics and this bar go way up as people tune in. Next up, we will have Coach David Carrasco and LMU. We'll let David in now, and we'll keep the players on ice for a second. David Carrasco. Oh, he's got a goatee, everybody. He's got a championship beard happening. Bring it on, David Carrasco from Spain.
Baby. Let's go.
First-year head coach of LMU. David, thanks for being here, bud.
Thank you guys for hosting us.
Yeah, anytime, man.
It looks good.
I love it. Before we bring the players in, we'll have Tommaso Baldinetti and we'll have Richie Rimlinger with us, but we want to talk to you first as the coach, your first full season as the solo head coach, the LMU head coach, I should say, taking over for John Loughran here in your first season. You've had a couple of marquee wins. You guys are playing very well of late. You will take on CBU, who you beat earlier this year in your first round matchup. David, talk to us what it means to you to be coming in as the I think you're the 4 seed, if memory serves. Yeah, you're the 4 seed coming in your first season as a head coach to the West Coast Conference tournament.
Yeah, this tournament is special. It's my first tournament as a head coach, so I'm approaching this really emotionally, honestly. Like with these guys are doing a great job, whole team, and having a bunch of players graduating, it's also really special for me. Like it's couple of them, and Richie is one of them. I actually played with him, and seeing him graduating now and me coaching him is incredible. Finn Friedland is the other one that I had the pleasure to play with him, so it's a really emotional tournament. Yeah.
I love it. What are you guys doing to prepare? You're going to Air Force. You'll have practice on Thursday. You get there Thursday or Wednesday?
We're getting there Wednesday. We're
Okay.
flying out of LAX Wednesday morning, so we'll probably try to get some time in the pool Wednesday evening, to get the guys acclimated to the time change and everything. So yeah.
Awesome. And what are you guys doing to prepare? Talk to us about the schedule this week. What are you changing up? You got to beat CBU for a second time. They're a tough team at the end of the season. How are you preparing for them?
Yeah, I mean, we played them 3 weeks ago. I think it's pretty similar, but still different because a knockout round, everything is different. As you were saying before, stats don't matter anymore. Whatever you did during the whole season doesn't matter. So it's whoever wants it. They're that for me one of the toughest opponents in these type of tournaments. They've proven it the last 2 years, beating the number 1 seed in regular season at their home. So they've proven that they're the toughest team to play.
Yeah, for sure. Anything in particular you're kind of looking forward to? It's a bit of a different environment. You're going to be at altitude, indoors. Anything you're looking forward to in particular about this year's conference tournament?
No, really, honestly, I think it's, except for Air Force, is going to be the same for everyone, having to adjust to playing indoors, the altitude. Like I tell our guys, like altitude is important, but it doesn't change everything. If you go all out, rest, get in all out again, it's gonna be fine. So yeah, and the only team that has the home advantage is Air Force. So yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. In your first season of head coaching, what would you say? Have you had time to reflect and say, hey, I've learned this, I've learned X, Y, Z in my first year?
I mean, I've learned so much this year, like thanks to the players, thanks to Raul, thanks to, like the competition itself, and the opponents, the refs. It's been pretty exciting year for me to grow as a person, as a coach, and I think the difference between past years and now, it's actually the team management and how have everyone ready to feel ready, and that's been the biggest learning lesson, I would say. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to let the other your players in now. Tommaso Baldinetti. Let me bring up their slides so people know who we're talking about here. We just had San Jose State on. For those of you following along, I'm very privileged to be able to bring this to you guys. A second here. You think I'd be better at this, Clay? All this time we've been doing this. There's San Jose State. We'll roll to LMU now. Loyola Marymount University, the Lions, Richie Rimlinger, Tommaso Baldinetti. We'll let them in from the studio. They've been in the back room, as we like to call it. Tommaso, Richie, thank you guys for joining us both. Ciao, Tommaso. Come stai?
Benvenuti. Bene, grazie. Tu?
Grazie. Grazie mille. Richie, good to see you, man. You guys are both in your final years. I'm Wesley Kading. We haven't met before. Clayton Snyder, my co-host here. We've been doing this now for a couple of years. We're excited for you guys. Coach David Carrasco, a lot of really positive things to say, but both of you are in your final years, going into your final conference championship. You're taking on CBU. Talk to us about, your feelings. Are you excited about it? You nervous about it? Richie, you go first, and Tommaso can go second.
Oh, first of all, thank you so much for having us on here. It's a pleasure to join you guys finally. Staying tuned to your podcast. But yeah, I think mostly I'm excited than anything else. I mean, obviously this is the last one for me. So, everything's on the line here, and it being conference tournament, knockout rounds, anything can happen. This conference too, especially this year, any team can really get it. So it's going to be really fun, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I love it. Tommaso, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Richie. First of all, I mean, thank you for having us, and I think CBU is a really good team, and with really good players like Andrea Nuzzo, and yeah,
Con paisano.
Kie, ma kie.
It's gonna be a really challenging game, and we hope to get the best of it.
Yeah, sure. I do have a weird question for you. I did the U20 World Championships. The Italian team had 4 lefties, not including you and Andrea Nuzzo, which would make 6. Alessandro Salapante, another lefty, was not there. That's 7 lefties. What's going on in Italy? Because we don't have enough lefties here in the United States. And here we are with, 3 from Italy and Alessandro Salapante, you and Andrea Nuzzo, who was on the show earlier. Is there something special that you guys do in Italy that you have so many left-handers?
I think they're serving vino on the left side of the plate at dinner.
Right. They're used to going to it. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's actually like we actually didn't have lefties coming out for a little while, but I guess in these last few years we're all coming out at once. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, talk to us, Tommaso. You entered the transfer portal, and then David Carrasco was announced the head coach. And the first thing that happened was you came back to LMU. What was that process like for you to come back for your graduate year at LMU? Obviously as a captain now. What's that process been like for you and under David?
I mean, I entered the transfer portal, as you know, because our head coach retired. And I didn't know if there were enough money for possible also scholarship, and I didn't know what the situation looked like. I didn't have a scholarship already signed, but the moment I heard that David was going to be the head coach, we immediately talked, and we managed to find an arrangement really quick, because I wanted to stay at LMU, and I wanted to play under David and with my teammates and finish my last season at LMU.
Yeah.
Winning a championship, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. And as you said, it's anybody's year. Now, Richie, you're not far from home. Tommaso's come 6,000 miles. You're not far from home, from Newport Beach, if memory serves. What has it been like for you at LMU this year in your final year, playing with a former teammate of yours in David Carrasco?
Yeah, well, I mean, so far it's been awesome. I mean, the way that David's been stepping up and leading the program, is kind of something I've been used to, from playing with him on the team. He's always been that sort of leader I've looked up to since freshman year. And even when he was an assistant coach the past 2 years, I've really been looking up to him. And, I feel like this year he's stepped up, and it's been great. And I love playing for him. It's been really fun so far.
Yeah. And going through preparation, you've done this before. You've played in a West Coast Conference tournament. This year, you're quite a talented team. Tommaso coming back. Roberto Barrera Sanchez in the goal, and Finn Friedland somewhat splitting time. Alika Naone coming on. Nico Furneaux transferring from Santa Barbara. Bense Badic has been healthy all year. You guys are a good team. There's no doubt about it. And you're one of the, I think, tougher teams to predict because you can do so many different things. How are you preparing mentally to bring everybody together as a leader on this team and really take on CBU in the first game and hopefully make a run to a WCC championship?
Yeah, well, what we're really trying to focus on is kind of our individualities, right? Just staying consistent within our roles. That's something that, we're really trying to push for in the pool every day, showing up, working hard, putting our best foot forward, putting our team in front of everyone else. That's the biggest thing for sure, because I think we just need to be consistent here. And if things usually fall in our favor. Obviously, I'm center defender, so for me, defense number one, and after that, right, our offense kind of falls into place.
Yeah, I think defense number one for everybody. I think even Coach Carrasco would say everybody's got to play a little defense. Now, you guys run a little bit of a different style, and Tommaso, I'm gonna push this to you. You guys are fast, like real fast. You run a high press a lot of the time. We saw you turn a game around against Pacific in the second half. Obviously, you beat CBU. That Long Beach game knotted up going into sudden death overtime. you kind of hit your stride late in the season, which if you're going to do it, might as well be late in the season. Talk to us about the defensive approach, Tommaso, that's fueling your offense with all the speed and kind of versatility that you have.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. As Richie mentioned, pressing is the first key point of our defense. As soon as we lose the ball, we press right away. We look to steal the ball, and that puts us in advantage when going on counterattack. We look to take advantage of the counterattack quick, right away, and then if it doesn't work, we work on our plays.
Yeah, and your counterattack has really been good. It's really good. I think Pepperdine would be the only other team I think that counters quite as well as you do. You guys have just a different structure. However, I mean, you're all, other than Richie and Bensay, you're all kind of very versatile in a way. You play a lot of different positions. Talk to us about how the chemistry has built when you bring on so many new players. What's the chemistry been like? And David, why don't you take this one? As we talked to you early in the season about some of the recruits you had and the transfers in Nico Furneaux and Alika Naone. What has it been like building that chemistry for you? And would love to hear from the players as well.
I think it's been pretty easy. We have a really good culture at LMU, and the guys have been welcoming these new players in a great way, and that's something that even when I was in the team, like everyone in the locker room has welcomed everyone, and they are always there, their shoulder for you to cry if you need it, and so as far as my job, I haven't had to do much about this because they're the ones that have stepped up, and it's been incredible. It's incredible to see these guys in the locker room. Just the chemistry they have is so fun, and it's a pleasure actually to step in the locker room as a coach and see the joy that they bring every day.
I love it.
Love it. David, over this past year, I'd love to hear from you how you have seen these two players we have on the call develop, calling out something specific. Like for Richie, is there anything specific that you've noticed that has matured over the course of the season? It's okay to say no, by
Richie
the
way. No. It's both of them have done a great job, and Richie, he said it at the beginning, like his job is defense, and Tommaso said it, our pressing is key. Without a good center defender, the press falls apart because there is easy passes to the center, and Richie and our other center defenders are basically the column that holds our press. Without his job, it would be impossible for us to play our game. So he's stepped up on that, and as he said it, in offense, having the players we have, he doesn't need to do much. Like he lets them roll, and we let Richie shine in defense. So he's done a great job accepting that, and yeah,
even playing some center offense at times.
Yeah.
So Richie's diverse as well, I would say. Have you seen Tommaso develop into his graduate season?
Yeah, we have like a sentence for the team that we need 4 different balls, one for Tommaso, one for Abel, one for Alika, and one for the team. And actually the 3 of them have been doing a really, really, really good job playing for each other and playing for the team. And we saw it this season. Like they've been. I think Tommaso has the most assists in the team. So it's incredible to see them and see him make the decision of when he is the killer and when he is the one that lets others shine in offense. And yeah, he's been
Tommaso
great.
shine as a playmaker for sure. Absolutely. And then Tommaso and Richie, passing it back to you guys. You've had a rich history at LMU, and now with this transition of having David as a official head coach, can you speak to just a little bit how this season has been different and that can be from just like a cultural standpoint, just a training standpoint. What's any market differences now that you've had this new head coach experience? Starting with Tommaso.
I would say like David is really focused on like he focuses a lot on the individual skills and on the water polo. Like I feel like this is probably the year where I've swam the last in my career, because we really focus on like we swim while we play, while we're doing like individual stuff. Like he translates the physical preparation into water polo, so he doesn't distinct the two things. He merges them into one, and I feel like that's a different approach compared to other coaches, but I've really enjoyed it, as the whole team did, and I feel like it's really helped us to see the game better, understand the game better, so that we can apply what we want to do more successfully.
I love that. Yeah. A lot of times coaches just kind of receive players with what fundamentals and skill sets they have and then swim them in scrimmage and at times. So it's great to get that extra development where it's needed. Richie, how about you?
Yeah, I'm fully with Tommy there. Right, it's been nice not having to swim a lot, just like staring at a black line, But also with the individual skills and stuff, like David's really like molding us into like way more diverse of players and what we come in as. So it's been really great, like being able to see how the game plays out in kind of a different light, if that makes sense. Like we're working like let's say like counter or like drive defense, right? Like usually I'll be working on like center defender stuff, but he'll pull me in over, we'll do some counter D stuff, and I'll just have a different lens on how I'm looking at the game, that sort of stuff. I feel like it's definitely helped me as a player for sure.
Let me ask you this. We got a great question in this vein here in the chat.
Just about to bring it up.
Yeah, well, all right. Well,
you got it. It's your channel. Fine.
Yeah. David, what would you say, are the attributes of players who are successful at the D1 level? In your first year of coaching, it's probably a little more fresh in your mind to say, if you've been doing this 20 years, you're less open-minded typically because you've been doing the same thing for so long. Your first year, what have you seen has made some guys successful this year that are new to D1 water polo?
That's a tricky one. I think one of the, I tell the guys this, and they've referenced like the development side and the water polo side, but I also focus a lot on the mental, and for example, just Mateo Obando, he's one of our freshmen. He never played at the Division 1 level. Like the mentality that he came in wanting to show that he can play and not be less just because he comes out of high school, and that's super important. But in terms of water polo, for me, it's just the ability to read the game at the pace that it's going, because there's so many players that read it a couple seconds later that the game has already passed in front of their eyes and they haven't noticed, and they make the wrong decision because it's 2 seconds late.
So like anticipation is really the big thing. And that comes a lot of times with reps, but the mental side of wanting to be great and then working on that craft and anticipating a lot of the time. Yeah. And that's no surprise. Something that David always did very well was anticipate.
Yeah, no kidding. So David, on that, I think that's so important. Just like how as a player, how fast or slow the game is feeling to you while you're playing it. And if it feels like it's happening really fast, you might not be in a great spot. But if it feels like it's almost in slow motion, you're like 2 steps ahead of the game. You're just fully in the flow state. You're in the game. Besides just playing more games, how would you encourage youth athletes or high schoolers to develop that sense?
I mean, watching high-level water polo is helpful, but I'm gonna pull one of Richie here. And he is a lifeguard, and we had a meeting, like a team meeting, like in the spring, and it was related to visualization, and if he is lifeguarding and he sees someone going in the beach and thinking, oh, if they go in the water and there is a water current, how am I going to take them out of that situation? If he has put himself in that situation in the tower, when it actually happens, he has already gone through that situation before, and he knows how to approach it. For water polo, I think it's also really important. So later, when it actually happens, you've already gone through that in your head and you are a little bit more prepared. Of course, you need the fundamentals, you need the body position, you need everything to hold it together. But if mentally you've already gone through it before, it's much easier to have the solution for that situation.
I love that. Yeah. Boy, I think that's not talked about enough is visualization. Very valuable skill, I would say.
All right. We're coming to the end here. I want to know a couple of things. First off, it's your kind of studio, we like to say. Talk to us about what needs to go right for you guys, Tommaso and Richie, and in order to win a West Coast Conference championship and get an NC2A berth. Tommaso, you can go first, and we'll let Richie go second.
Okay. I have kind of a delay when I hear you guys talk. But basically, I think the most important factor is consistency throughout the game. A lot of times we've seen games like being consistent the first 2 quarters and then kind of falling during the third one. And if we are able to maintain consistency throughout the 4 quarters, allowing as few goals as possible, we will be able to go all the way to the end and win conference, in my opinion.
All right, Richie, what about you?
Yeah, I'm fully with Tommaso there with the consistency, but also the emotional factor too.
Yeah.
If we want to win, we can't let our emotions get to the best of us. Like, no matter what happens in the game, we need to go all out because it may be our last game, right? So we need to play like that, right? We need to go all in, all out, no matter the score, no matter the time of the game, no matter what. We need to be all in at all time.
Yeah. I love it. Well, gentlemen, thank you for taking the time on this Sunday evening. Be a part of the first ever West Coast Conference press conference live stream going into your conference tournament. You got a week of practice, a last West Coast Conference for tournament for the both of you. We really appreciate you taking the time and being here. Thank you so much. I'm very much looking forward to meeting you both in person at Air Force Academy. We'll see you guys on Thursday for training and practice. Coach Carrasco, a longtime friend of ours, thank you for being here, man, and making this happen.
Thank you, guys.
You're right.
All right.
Thank you.
Next up, we will have Pepperdine. Yeah, absolutely. Next up, we'll have Pepperdine, Coach Merrill Moses, Shandor Gall, and Dane Howell joining us. Clay, any comments before we bring these guys in here?
No, I just love those insights. Thank you for the questions, chat.
Love it.
That's the real live experience that we were wanting, live engagement. That was very fun.
For sure.
Got Alika's in there, cheering Tommy and Richie on. So hopefully we get a few more of those. That's really fun.
Yeah, so stay tuned. Right now, we're going to bring Coach Merrill Moses in. We'll talk to him real quick here. Coach Merrill Moses, one of the best backgrounds in college water polo, let me tell you.
That's right.
At his home office here.
How you guys doing?
It's good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Before we let the players in, we'd like to get a little chat with you. We got a preview here of the players that are going to be joining us. But, Merrill, good to see you, man. I got to see you a couple days ago. Thanks for making the time on a Sunday evening to be here. It's meaningful and impactful, not only to us, but I think the sport as well. We very much appreciate it. What are you looking forward to most this week, man? Going to Air Force.
First and foremost, thank you both for having us. I think you guys are doing great things for water polo, and excited to be a guest and appreciate you having our athletes on as well.
Yeah, of course.
But what I'm looking forward to is obviously championship atmosphere. The WCC is the most competitive conference in the country. And I think you guys would agree that it's anyone's game and it's going to be an exciting weekend of water polo. And I'm excited for our team to showcase the skills and hard work that they've put in over this whole season.
I will give you a little bit of credit here, but don't let it go to your head, Merrill. The defense you guys showed against Santa Clara on Friday, outstanding. The best I've seen from Pepperdine, not just this year, I think in the last 2 years. You got Smirnov in the goal, but you're running a little bit of a different approach since the Harvard loss at the Julian Fraser Memorial, also at Santa Clara. How can you maintain that level of precision with that zone defense through the course of 3 really tough games as you get Santa Clara again on Friday?
Obviously, if things aren't working, you have to change some things up. That's,
Fair.
my job and our coaching staff's job. And yeah, I think the Harvard loss definitely woke us up a little bit, and the team's been buckling down and working on different defenses, not just the one that we've shown. And so, we're going to be prepared for all aspects of the game. But again, yeah, we were victorious against Santa Clara this last weekend, but that means nothing. They're a great team, have great coaches, and it's a new game. And just telling the team that we're not looking ahead, we're not looking at anyone else except Santa Clara, and we're really focused on fine-tuning our game so we can win with defense, because we definitely have enough offensive weapons.
You definitely have enough offensive weapons. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that. 2 of them listed here. And yet you guys are actually playing a little short. Milo Joseph taking the year off. You got Adam Chapo picked up an injury. For the first part of the year, Eric Ionescu was out. You guys have had some trials and tribulations this year. Has that galvanized you guys, or has it made it harder? Is there frustration there as you head into the final weekend?
No, I don't think frustration at all. If anything, I think it's helped us. Obviously, it's given a lot of other athletes opportunity to play big minutes in the beginning of the season. It's helped our depth. It's helped our young guys with confidence. And I'm going to tell you right now, the winner of the tournament this weekend coming up is going to come probably with depth. Obviously, it's no secret that we're playing in elevation. And so, we're going to have more than 7 people winning the game.
Definitely more than 7.
Probably.
Probably. I hope so. I hope so. Get everybody a little minutes in there. Any particular challenges that you guys are kind of preparing for as you go into this?
No, just the team's ready. We've been training for this, since summer. We've been talking about this tournament, and that's been our goal. And you guys have seen we've scheduled the hardest schedule we've had in Pepperdine history since I've been there, since 2012.
Yeah.
And last year, great. We were top 4 in the country at the beginning of the year, but that means nothing. And so our whole goal since the summer is to make sure that we're prepared at the end of the year. And I think the team is going to be prepared for the most important tournament, which is coming up this weekend.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. All right, well, we're going to let the players in now. We'll hear what they have to say and see if it's consistent with what you've told us. Sean Dorgal, I think they're probably together. Do we have them both? Yeah, they are together. There was only one name here. Sean Dorgal, Sasha, he goes by. Dane Howell, the man from National League. I'll never forget the way he put up some numbers for that.
That wave shirt is so clean.
Woo!
That's nice.
Here we go. I'm waiting for Clayton to take his shirt off to have a wave shirt underneath again. This has become a thing.
Not this time, guys. Sorry.
Thank God you don't want to see him take his shirt off. But great to have you both. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys so much. We love Warpole Wednesday, so we're happy to be here.
There
are 4
two,
of them now.
There's 4 viewers, or 4 total viewers.
One.
Yeah. Dane, it was nice to meet you formally this weekend. I don't know that we'd met before. I appreciate you coming up and saying hi when you guys were playing against Santa Clara. Shondor, we haven't had a chance to talk before, but my name's Wesley Kading. You got Clayton Snyder here. You probably recognize Clayton's voice from the Pepperdine feed that he's done this year. I want to thank you guys for tolerating his announcing. It's been fun to listen to him. Yeah. It's been fun to listen to him, but great to have you both here on a Sunday evening as you guys prepare for your conference tournament at Air Force. First game against Santa Clara. Dane, you're in your final West Coast Conference tournament, man. Talk to us about what this week means to you as you guys march towards, this tournament here at the end of the week.
Yeah, I mean, every year it means so much. Last year, I thought it would be my last West Coast Conference. So even going into that, it meant like so much. But this year, it's been a lot different. Like I've been thinking about this weekend for a long time. Like I've been up at night thinking about it. I've been just preparing all year. Like, this means the world for me, and I know my teammates feel the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, an exciting time. Shandor, also your last. Now, you grew up playing for Ferencváros, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that's a pretty decent club to grow up playing for. I grew up playing for Kashi, and Vasas. So not quite the same level of Ferencváros, but at the time we were decent. Talk to us about what it's been like for you being here. You know, you're in your final WCC conference tournament as well. Both of you guys graduating and wrapping it up this year. What does it mean to you going into this final weekend?
Yeah, it's been an amazing 4 years for me with Pepperdine. I'm super thankful for Merrill and Pepperdine for this opportunity to play here, and it means everything. I've been playing water polo for a very long time, like 12 years now, and this might be the end, and I just want to enjoy every single part of it and put everything out there that I have.
Yeah, for sure. Merrill, coming into this, you guys have a kind of a renewed spirit, I would call it. Watching you play against Santa Clara look like a very different team than earlier in the year. These are your two leaders. What have these guys contributed to the team in the last 6 weeks as you guys have turned this kind of righted the ship, if you will?
Well, not just in the last 6 weeks. These are two leaders that have developed our culture. And as I told you, we've been thinking about this conference tournament and this weekend since summer. And they definitely have been a big part of keeping the ship going straight and making sure everyone is putting everything into it so we can be at our best at the end. But obviously we talked about the loss versus Harvard, and I think these are two guys that have definitely helped fine-tune our defense and pushed our counterattack with our offense. Two of our top scorers here, two of our leaders in and out of the water, and they demand excellence, and I think that trickles down to, like I told you guys, a lot of our younger players as well.
Yeah, and Dane, you're shooting a ridiculous clip of 54%, 53 goals on 98 shots, second in goals, tied with Eric Ionescu, trailing only Matty Walsh, which it's very rare to see a center have as many goals as he does. Talk to us about what this has been like for you to kind of be that leader on the team and to continue with the consistency. And, it's not easy, right? It's not easy to be a leader on a team and stay positive and push guys. And, I don't know if being a friend is part of it or not, but what do you attribute like your ability to continue to do that to?
Yeah, for me, it's just all been about consistency. I know all my teammates, my coaches, they're pushing me to like provide all this leadership, all these goals every single game. And so if I could be there every game and stay consistent, then I'm doing my job. And I just like to be out there trying to be a role model for other players and some of our teammates to just try to stay consistent every game, to try your best to leave it all out in the water. So, I mean, I really have to say that it's been my coaches and my teammates that have enabled me to do so well with both what they've been saying to me all year and how much help they've been in practices and games. So I owe it to them.
Awesome. Go ahead, Clay.
Love that. Yeah. Dane, I've been thinking, Wes and I have been on, has been on this call for a minute here, going through different programs, and a word that's popped up a lot is consistency. So it's going to be like, hey, like, what do you need to do to achieve this goal? And you think, okay, this thing, consistency. How do you achieve consistency? I'm sure you haven't, not tried for consistency in the past, but is there anything that you would attribute to actually achieve consistency? What's like one level below that goal?
Yeah, I would have to say that Coach Schroeder talks about consistency a lot, and I think that's helped me a lot. It's about showing up to practice every day. You're ready to play. You've done the right nutrition for yourself. You work as hard as you can. And if you're doing these things on your off days during practice, and it's going to follow through to the game. And if you're able to stay consistent, then you're able to help out your teammates, because maybe some of the days you don't have a great game, but your teammates are going to lift you up. But if you're consistent, you can help lift up your fellow teammates a lot more. So that's what I've been striving for.
Love that. Sasha, who have you turned to this season when you maybe, I don't know, I'm making assumptions here. We all go up and down. You're a pretty confident guy. I don't doubt that. Is there anybody that on the team, though, that you might look to for inspiration, would you say?
Yeah, I would point out two guys on the team. One is Dane. He always likes to talk to everyone, being a good leader, and then just make sure that everyone is in their right mind and that everyone feels confident and motivated. And the other guy is Adam Chapo, who unfortunately he has not been able to play this year, but he has provided a huge impact for us outside of the water.
I've heard that from a couple people. For those of you who don't know, Adam Chapo, also Hungarian, phenomenal player, was going to be one of the reasons why Pepperdine was going to be a top team this season. Had a season-ending injury, did show up in one game, but he's really stepped up, I hear, as a leader, despite not being able to play. And that's a real testament to his character and who he is. So shout out to him. We do have a question in the chat here. I'll give it to Coach Moses. The question is, what skill do you think most players overlook the most when preparing for high school level? For preparing for high level college water polo. There you go.
Going in and out over their hips, for sure.
Okay.
Shot blocking is the key to winning games. And if you can go in and out over your hips in a zone defense and going from the horizontal to vertical, you're going to be a better player, hands down.
So hearing that, everyone on this call knows exactly what you're talking about. Could you be a little bit more specific in layman's terms on what over your hips might mean?
Also, I don't know if shot blocking wins championships, but I digress. Go on, Merrill.
It can.
I'm gonna tell you, shot blocking is gonna win a championship.
True goalie talk right there, man. Somebody else get in front of that thing. I love it. So yeah, what do you mean going over your hips for everybody out there who's watching?
If you're crashed back on a center, so our game is revolved around the center, and in a zone defense you're crashing back, and then when your person gets the ball, you're looking to go and attack them, so you're kind of laying down on your hip and you're pulling the water and going to shot block over your hips and go and close out on that attacker. So that's in layman's terms, I'd say.
I love it.
Yeah, and how much water you can cover in that single movement.
Yeah. All right, now I'm going to jump back now to the West Coast Conference tournament that you guys are having. We appreciate all the personal insight here. You guys obviously are going to be taking on Santa Clara again. If you're able to beat them, you'll take on the winner of San Jose and Air Force. Is there a team here you don't want to see? Is there a team you're like, no, I don't want to see?
I'll speak up and then I'll let the guys speak. But as I told you in the beginning of the call when they weren't on, is West Coast Conference is the most competitive conference in the country, and I'm honestly telling this: any team on this grid right here in the tournament can win the tournament.
Yeah.
So you got to prepare for everyone, and the only team we're looking at is Santa Clara right now.
Yeah, fair enough. Dane, Shandor.
Yeah, we're prepared to take on any team. Obviously, we're going to focus on Santa Clara, but I think the guys are really fired up about the losses that we have had, and we have something to prove when we go into these different games. If we see a San Jose, a UOP, a CBU, we're really fired up about these games, and I know we're going to do a lot of homework when we get to that point. We got to focus on Santa Clara first, but I know we're going to do a lot of homework, see what we did wrong last time, and we're going to attack the game.
I love it.
Yeah, obviously we're focusing on Santa Clara right now, but obviously we're focusing on Santa Clara right now, but we're gonna have to win 3 games in a row, no matter who it's against, to win conference. So
yeah, fair enough. You got to win 3 in a row to get there, and it won't be easy. You're going to be at Air Force, but everybody will face the altitude challenge. You guys are getting there Thursday or Wednesday to train?
We're getting there Wednesday, and we'll train Wednesday.
Train Wednesday. You'll train Thursday as well. we'll look forward to meeting everybody, seeing everybody in person as well on Thursday. And really like just more or less pumped for you guys, right? Like excited to see what you guys bring to Air Force Academy for this finals weekend. Last year was a little bit, I want to say, different for you. You struggled in your first round matchup. You guys are more mature, I think, this year in your composure and the way that you're playing. How do you avoid an early round upset, or I would say struggle? I think if your first game doesn't go well, I think it's indicative of how the second game kind of goes. It's hard to make drastic changes. How do you ensure you come out hot, ready to go, and you don't stumble like you kind of did last year in that first round game?
Let's let the guys answer this first.
Yeah.
I think this year we are more confident than we were last year. So I don't think we have any doubts, and we trust what we're doing. We trust in our coaches. We trust in each other. And as Dane said, we are all fired up to play this next weekend.
Yeah, this is actually something that we've talked about. So both last year and the year before, we didn't get the results that we wanted to, and we talked about the reasons why. And I think that this is a very mature team where we're not overlooking anybody, but we're staying confident. We're going to take every possession seriously. That's something we've been focusing on this year. And I know all the guys were very excited and fired up to play that first possession. So I know we're going to take every quarter very seriously, where it's not like last year. It's not like 2 years ago. This is going to be different.
Yeah, I love to hear that. Yeah, I think the team has matured tremendously. And if anything, we've learned from our mistakes. And as I've told you, we made sure that we had the hardest schedule ever since I've been there, and to prepare us for this moment. And I think the team is definitely ready, and we're excited.
Let me ask you this, Merrill. You're a two-time Olympian. You played for the great Terry Schroeder, who has a very special place in my heart. And as a goalie, last season, last WCC, your goalie play just wasn't where it was at. And Smirnov was a freshman, right? It wasn't where it needed to be. And so I'd be kind of curious, what are you telling your goalie going into this? With you've got a silver medal from 2008, right? Like, what are you telling these guys with the level and experience that you have, that like to help your goalies be mentally ready? Because so much of a goalie play, I believe, is mental.
Yeah, goalies are definitely a different breed for sure.
100%.
Yeah, Max has been playing great all year. And I always say, and Sasha can talk about this too, but for an international player, I think it takes a year to get comfortable, get used to how the referees are calling, the speed of the game. It's different when you're playing overseas, even for your club team. And the one benefit of Max also is he's an older now sophomore. He was an older freshman because of his service. But I think he's settled into things here. Obviously, being away from your family takes a toll also as your first year. And so second year, you're used to it. We have all the confidence in the world in Max. He's shown that he's definitely one of the best goalies in college water polo. I think that we're, as I told you, we're working on different defenses and running defenses to help him be successful. And I do think the goalkeeper position is going to be a huge part of a team winning a championship this weekend.
Yeah, well, two of the best goalies in this tournament on the same side of the bracket in San Jose State and Pepperdine, and Smirnov and Japiash. So it'll be very interesting to see how this kind of shakes out and plays out. One random question for you coming in from the chat. Dane, what's the best surf spot in Malibu? We can't make this stuff up, brother.
It's
he can't say, because then everyone will know.
I mean, everyone surfs Malibu already. I love Third Point. I love County Line. I'm from Huntington Beach, so really my heart stays with HB Pier. But
all right,
Third Point and County Line.
I dig it. All right, guys, you got a couple minutes left here. We're going to take a quick break before we head to Pacific. Any final words before you head into the conference championship week here of training? Coach Merrill, what do you want to leave us with? Let's start with you.
No, I just hope. Obviously, I think water polo's grown tremendously in love. The amount of teams that are doing the streaming. Obviously, you guys are big time announcers, which we appreciate all that you bring to the sport. And so, if you can't make it out to Colorado, I know it's far for a lot of people, but games are going to be on ESPN Plus, and let's set some records with people watching the game that we all love. And I think it's going to be some of the highest level water polo in the country for college water polo this year, and would love to see everyone get a chance to watch it on ESPN Plus and watch what we have to deliver.
I love it. Shandor, go ahead.
I just want to shout out my whole team for working so hard there this whole season, and go Waves.
All right, Dane, take us to break here. We'll take a 2-minute break, but Dane Howell, what do you got for us? What do you want to leave us with? The studio is yours, man.
I think everyone's going to be very impressed with this tournament. I know my team has been super fired up to play the highest level of water polo that they can. And I want to thank you, Clay and Wes. I told this to Clay before, but I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I love Water Polo Wednesday. You guys are doing wonders for the sport with your announcing, with LAAC, and with Water Polo Wednesday. So thank you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys taking the time out of your Sunday evening. We're so excited for this WCC conference tournament. It really, truly, Merrill, you've said it all year. It's anybody's tournament out at Air Force. So we'll look forward to seeing you guys take on Santa Clara on Friday. I'll be there in person, so be sure to say hi. Thank you again for taking the time and being here, guys. We're going to take a very quick break, about 2 minutes. We'll be right back with our final guest, the University of Pacific, in just a moment.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Clay, by the way, if you like that shirt as a Pepperdine alum, of course you can get one.
You're still live, Merrill. So if you're throwing out shirts like this,
it's not a secret. It's not a secret.
It's a Pepperdine alum.
Oh, Wes, you can get one too.
I mean, David didn't offer me one from LMU, so I'll take what I can get at this point. We'll support you.
Damn. Yeah. I like it. I'd love for you guys to be on Water Polo Wednesday with Waves on.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
We'll do a live stream of College Polo Live or something from there in a couple weeks. I'm going to kick you guys out. I got to go to the restroom. We'll be right back with the University of Pacific right after this.
Yeah.
What's up, Nick?
Welcome back, everyone. Appreciate the quick break there. We've been doing this for 2.5 hours. We have our final guest coming in. We're going to let the University of Pacific in here. Coach James Graham, Ori Buzaglo, Manny Pemberty, the top-ranked University of Pacific. Look at, they got their back. Yeah. Oh, wow. They got their background set up.
Water Polo U.
Yeah, yes, they are ready in uniform. Guys, what a treat to have you here. Congratulations on a WCC Conference Championship regular season co-title with San Jose State. You've got the #1 seed heading into the West Coast Conference Tournament. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's exciting.
Yeah, we love it. It's the first ever West Coast Conference live stream press conference that's ever been done. We appreciate you guys being the bookend here. I am so excited to watch you guys play the #1 overall seed. We're going to have to wait till Saturday to see you. You will take on the winner of LMU and CBU. But before we get into that, Coach Graham, you've had a really interesting season. You've had some very high highs. You've had some tougher games. Talk to us about what this season has been like for you and the team, a lot of new members of this team, and how it's kind of gone that's brought you to this #1 overall seed going into the tournament.
Yeah, the season is, it's been great. It's been exciting. We've had a lot of really close games. We've had a lot of, success, but we've also been doing a lot of learning. I mean, this season we knew we were bringing in a lot of young players with some great experience and talent, but we were going to be trying to mesh them together. And the way we built our schedule, the way we did everything, we always knew it was going to kind of go this way. A couple little surprises in the season, but overall, pretty much everything's gone the way we expected it to go. And we're excited to be at this point and be the #1 seed at this opportunity. And hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of it.
I love it. Now, you've got two. Manny is a more senior player on your team, a graduate student, if I remember correctly, right, Manny?
Yeah, correct.
Awesome. So this will be your last West Coast Conference tournament. What does it mean to you? Maybe reflect a little for us what it's been like and maybe your favorite moment thus far, and then maybe what you're looking forward to most. So in the past 3-4 years, what has been your favorite moment of this West Coast Conference tournament?
I mean, it's got to be last year it was our first time in the WCC, but that team was kind of just built up from my freshman year. But this year, this new team is a new experience. I'm trying to kind of get the guys and the chemistry going on.
Yeah.
I think that's been a really fun journey, in my opinion.
Sure.
So I'd love to see what we build up and put it all in the water this weekend.
All right, very good. Ori,
And by the way,
go ahead.
maybe his last WCC.
Okay, maybe, not for sure. All right.
To
I
be
mean, how many
determined.
years we given these guys now? You know, what's just
We work on things over here.
yeah. Find you that you do. If there's one program that could figure it out, it's definitely you guys. Ori, I'll be honest with you, Ori. I've loved watching you play this season. It's been a real joy. I like good center play. Clayton here, my best friend all time. One of the best centers I think I've ever had the privilege of playing with. We love the way you work. Clay and I have spent a lot of time talking about you just on and off the podcast. You're a long way from home here, and you're at the University of Pacific. Talk to us about your approach. You've been so influential for this team this year. You're only a sophomore, but you're playing like an elder statesman. What has helped you kind of become such an influential player for the Pacific Tigers this year?
First of all, thank you so much for the compliments. I feel this team and this program is really special, and I feel we kind of get like some special environment in this program that makes everyone to work hard and like be committed to this like sport and this team. This team is like a family, and we hang out with each other in and out of inside the pool and off the pool, and like we're enjoying being with each other, and the staff and all the things are so professional here, so it makes you want to come and like be part of this team and like compete for this program.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, Coach Graham does a really nice job, obviously, in his recruiting and building programs, one of the best in the country to do it. Talk to us, guys, with the lows of some of the losses this year, coming back, beating San Jose State at home, beating CBU at home. You're going to have to go on the road, but talk to us about what brought you to this place. Coach Graham, anything you noticed this year that was like, okay, now we're really starting to rise, despite some of the midseason stumbles you had?
Yeah, look, anytime, you go to a new place, you have to be ready to be adaptable. And one of our two main core things about our identity here is adaptation and team cohesion. This is what we're founded on, these two principles, right? And we talk about it when we recruit players. We talk about it while they're here. And so we always knew this season was going to be a huge learning curve and a lot of adaptation. And so the Santa Clara game was a tough game. And Santa Clara played great, credit to them. But at the same time, that was one of the best things to happen to us, because real change doesn't happen just because you wish it to happen. Real change happens when when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change. And so we felt like with that drop of the game against Santa Barbara and dropping the game against Santa Clara, we were frustrated for sure. There's no doubt about that. And that allowed us to kind of look at ourselves, decide who we want to be, and make the change necessary to be a top level team. And so that happened, and that propelled us kind of through conference. And then we had another kind of experience like that when we got a chance to play UCLA and Stanford. And I think that has also now propelled us over the last couple of weeks. And we're hoping to continue to grow off these moments. It's your setbacks that really determine who you are. And those moments, when those happened, we said these could be the best things that happen to us. And that's our goal, is to turn these obstacles into opportunities.
Well, you've got quite the obstacle coming up. Taking on the winner of CBU and LMU in the semifinal. I'm going to switch us here to, give me a second, the WCC. Oh, I skipped it. There we go. The winner of LMU CBU. CBU knocked you off last year in this semifinal, in this very tournament, ended a run that you guys felt you should have had going to the NCAA tournament. I think a lot of people felt that way. How do you avoid a letdown in your first game at altitude, indoors, where they're going to have a game to play the day before and potentially adjust quicker?
So for us, look, CBU had a great game last year, and credit to them. And that's sport, though. Best team doesn't win. Team that plays the best wins, and that's the rules, right? So our job is to come out and peak perform every single time. And so it's not really about this one-off game. I mean, if you look at our ability to be successful over a long period of time, we are consistently able to perform well in top-level games. So this is just a outlier data point, right? We got to make sure that we're focused. We need to make sure that we're prepared. We need to make sure that everybody understands the game plan. But we're not letting that game last year impact our mentality at all. It is what it is. We understand that, but we are fired up and ready to go, and we're looking forward to this opportunity to prove what we can do this year.
I love it. Now, Manny and Ori, you guys both were on the team last year. What are you guys doing to prepare yourselves this week to ensure you're ready to peak perform? As Coach Graham says, he likes to peak perform every week. Peak perform on Saturday when you get your first opportunity, kind of bite at the apple here.
I do think that our preparation going to the altitude is going to be really good. Yep. I think that we are going to be ahead of a lot of people in that sense. And to be honest, for me, it's just the motivation comes from not feeling that same pain again from last year.
Sure.
It was a really tough feeling that I personally never experienced, going into the season, doing really good, and then kind of just all your dreams crushed in one game. So that's part of the motivation every time. It doesn't have to be because it's the semifinal, it's the same game. Every time we play them, in my opinion, it's just it's a motivation inside of my heart that just makes me want to compete and do my best.
Yeah. Ori, what about you? You factored in that game last year against CBU in the final game. How do you avoid this being your last game this year, and what steps are you taking to prepare?
Yeah. So as Manny said, nothing can change the feeling that we all felt after losing this semifinal. I remember after the semifinal, after this game, we sat on the bench and we couldn't believe the season end. And that's like that's was a turning point in my feeling for this program. Like how bad was this to lose this championship? So I think like from now on, I won't let it happen again. And like we prepared the entire team to this game because we want to make sure that these things won't happen again, and we want to be consistent, and we want to dominate this league. And I think we can do it, and we are absolutely capable of doing it, and it depends on us.
Yeah. So that's understandable after a loss like that, for it to just be so deeply embedded in your heart, then you carry that fire with you into this season. You're a very young team, though, and a lot of freshmen were not on that team that experienced that loss. How do you make this season carry the same meaning for them, having them not experience that alongside with you?
I think for the way I try to put it out for the guys, for the new guys especially, and like Ori said, we're a family, so we're gonna go through this together. And I think that is our goal, to put it out for them and say, hey, we're going to war and we're all going together. I think that's one of the main points that we started with in the season, that it's like, okay, we're all really new, but how fast can we all get together towards the main goal?
Yeah,
I love it. What has it been like playing with so many freshmen? I mean, Ori, you got to feel old, even though you're only a sophomore.
You're one of the senior members of this team. Ori is a sophomore, right?
Yeah, and look, your future is extremely bright. As we know, Coach Graham doesn't rebuild; he just reloads a lot of the time. So I'm excited for his recruiting class next year. Even you've got guys like Apostolos Iogatis, Boris Kashagal. You got Gergi Kish in the goal. You've got Petar Popovic. Brody Biederman has been good for you guys. I mean, a lot of young talent. What has it been like with kind of coming together? How have you built this kind of culture of this team? And anybody can really take that. I know it starts at the top, but a lot of it comes from within as well on the team.
Yeah, I mean, that's correct. I'm pretty old, but it's fine. No, I feel like in our team in the water, there is no freshmen, sophomores, seniors, juniors for us. We're all family. Also outside the pool, I mean, we are doing everything together. I think the fact that most of us are internationals got us along with each other outside the pool, because we have like similar cultures. And of course, with the American guys, I mean, we got along really easily. I mean, everybody are good friends. There is like really, really good culture in this program of like being a good teammate with each other. And like that's basically it. We try to be on the same page every practice. We try to push each other every practice, every day, every game, every single time. So I feel that's gonna be that was our key thing to be successful this year.
You know, if I could jump in on their thing, I think one of these guys, maybe be kind of humble, not say necessarily is. I think that how they help the freshmen understand what this means, and that them not being here last year is by how hard they work and how serious they take it and how professional they are about it. And these guys, both these guys beside me here, are ultra committed to the process and being professionals. And when young players come in and see that, I think it creates a certain amount of, importance and gravity to the situation. And it kind of then automatically starts to translate through the program. And I think they've done a fantastic job this year. It's great when you have your kind of older statesmen, so to speak, as also your hardest workers,
Yeah. Yeah, you lead from the front. We talk about this quite a bit in that, you set a tone and how hard you work. There's a direct correlation between how hard you're working and your results a lot of the time. It's not perfect, but there's a pretty good correlation, especially in our sport that requires so much fitness. Now, fitness is going to be a big deal. 3 games, 3 days for you guys at the WCC, the West Coast Conference Tournament. How do you stay fresh? Depth is going to be an important piece, especially at altitude.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be the challenge for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So this is the exciting part. This is the wrinkle. This is what's going to make the WCC tournament extremely interesting to pay attention to, besides just having a ton of great teams in our conference.
Yeah.
So everybody's got their different altitude plan. We have one. Shocker, it's been researched and it's scientific and it's but
what does the data tell us about playing at altitude?
Big shock. We're definitely dialed. Yeah. They've all been provided the plan. We know what needs to be done, and so we feel like we're going to be really, really prepared. But again, look, altitude is an X factor, and no one really knows how it's going to impact the game exactly. So we're going to need all of our players. It's to be up and ready to contribute when their number is called. And that's one of the focuses about this season. If you saw the first month of the season, we had a number of exhibition games. That was about getting a lot of players opportunities before some of these games were going to be critical to our results at the end. And then you could also see that we played a lot of guys against Stanford and UCLA at the end. So we've got some good experience for our entire crew to add depth, and we're going to look to utilize that for sure. And then hopefully our playing style will be conducive to the altitude, and we'll see how it goes. I think one of the big things for us is, like you said, 3 games in 3 days, except for us, right? And
Fair.
so we got 2 now. Sometimes you never know. Sometimes it's nice to play that first game and get in a rhythm. And before you head into that semifinal, that's for sure a thing, but it's also nice to be fresh heading into the semifinal. So we believe that it's an advantage. We worked hard to create that advantage, and our goal is to take advantage of it.
I'm going to give you some stats, Coach Graham. It's not good to win it's not good to win your conference, because when you win your conference, you don't likely win your conference tournament. And so we went back, and I believe it was 11 out of 14 conference champions regular season conference champions didn't win their conference tournament. What in the world happens in these one-off anomaly type games that these teams that are great all year don't end up converting? And how do you avoid that? Because it happened last year. It's happened to you before. How do we avoid that this year? Come on, you're the man at this. I've been looking forward to asking this question all day.
Good. Fired up. Okay,
Yeah.
First of all, hey, look, here's the deal. There's always anomalies, okay? And so when we start out, to win the regular season title is extremely difficult. You have to be consistent over a long period of time.
Yeah.
And that's why we're really proud of being able to win regular season titles and be able to go back to back. That consistency is huge. A tournament is a tournament. You can have a great weekend, okay? And it's not necessarily the best team of the year wins. It can be anyone that can win. So what it really comes down to is being in the moment and being really prepared and making sure that you're ready to do the work. So we've talked about this week that we feel like the 2 main factors that are going to decide the WCC championship. Teams that are the most prepared and composed with their game plan, and teams that work the hardest. So those 2 factors are going to be critical, and that's what we're leaning into, is having our composure to be able to execute our game plan, okay, consistently throughout the entire weekend. And hey, we got to outwork people. You want to win a championship, you got to outwork people in every game, and you got to be able to do that. You got to do it from possession to possession, first quarter through fourth quarter, and that has been something that we've been focusing on and trying to improve throughout the season.
Well, I will tell you this, Coach Graham. If there's anybody who can do it, it would be you. You were the last regular season winner to win a conference championship in 2022 when you were part of the team. So it is. Yes, you would be the anomaly here, as I'm looking at our stats and the research we did earlier in the year. But very cool, man. Look, we love having you guys on here. Very much appreciate you taking the time. Coach Graham, you and I connect quite a bit and really appreciate your partnership in all of this and the opportunity to broadcast some of the Pacific games. I'm excited to be there at Air Force. We open it up to you guys now. We're going to start with Mr. Buziglo, who we've played against each other in Maccabiah in 2022. So a little personal rivalry here. But talk to us about, the studio is yours. Anything you want to share with us, anything you want to just generally put out there for you, for Pacific, anything at all?
I think everything that has been said is enough. We're gonna prove ourselves on the game, on the main stage, and we're gonna prove it, and we're gonna make it. And I have no doubt about it. We're gonna work hard, and you're gonna see a dominant team over there.
I love it. All right, Manny, your turn. And this might be your last chance. It may not be your last chance. So
We'll see. No, like we said, I think the preparation is there. But in my eyes, it's always who wants it the most. And I know saying it's easy, but sometimes in the water, that's when the moment comes, and I don't want to get rid of my last chance, maybe, to get this title. So it's all about just putting everything that we built for me in the last 4 years, for Ori in the last year and a half. But just all that we have put in the water, and then it would speak for itself.
Yeah, for sure. And Coach Graham.
Well, couple things. First, like one, super proud of what these guys have accomplished already to be in this position, especially being as young as we've talked about and being able to do this. It shows how much growth and adaptation we've had over the course of this year.
Yeah.
And what I've said is I don't think we've gotten anywhere close to our ceiling. And so we are looking forward to getting closer and closer to that ceiling and being able to show our level this weekend. And then the last thing is, hey, this conference is stacked. Everyone's good, man. Everyone is really good. I'm so proud and excited to be a part of this conference. In the game, the game we're going to face LMU or CBU in the semifinals, and both those teams are amazing. They both got great players and great coaches, and they're well prepared. And we know they're going to go hard, and it's going to be a challenging game. And we know every game in the WCC is going to be tight, contested, and it's going to be a battle. So we're excited about that because that's why you play, right? That's why we play the games. You don't get to win every game, but you play for that, be on a big stage and be in battles and have a chance to show your level. And we can't wait to do those things. So more than anything, we're going to the WCCs as this opportunity and this chance to do something great. Not so much about pressure. It's just a chance to do something special for this group that's already accomplished more than most people thought they could.
It's certainly true, right? Like coming in with so much changes, so many changes to your team, 11 new faces. Really happy for you guys. Very proud to know you. And again, thank you for the opportunity to talk to you guys tonight on the Sunday evening as you guys head into a very tough week of practice, I'm sure. And of course, travel. What day will you be getting to Colorado?
Tonight. No, I'm just kidding.
No. There it is. Some boosters
with us
a week, baby.
We leave early Wednesday. We'll be out there early Wednesday.
All right. Well, it'll be good to see you guys again. I'll be there Thursday. Again, thank you for taking the time here on Water Polo Wednesday, the first ever live streamed press conference for the WCC Water Polo, the University of Pacific, the current regular season champions and #1 seed going into the conference tournament this weekend. I want to thank everybody for joining in, the chatting, all the media and all that good stuff. We can't thank you enough. We appreciate all the viewers and all the comments. So James, Ori, Manny, thank you for taking the time this evening. Have a great night. We will see you on Thursday out in Colorado.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.